bit surprised that Kinley did not want to face Martin. Of course, that could have been a call by Mike Roberts, but if I'm Kinley, I want to go back and battle him after the home run. I'll have to see.
First pitch, Sullivan pops it over the press box behind home plate. 0-1 the count on the UOP second baseman. Struck out looking back in the first. Alamond at third. Machine at second. Martin at first. 2 outs. 0-1 the count on Sullivan in a 1-0 ball game for the Braves. 0-1. Curveball misses high and away. Count even up at 1. Sun has gone behind one cloud. It's been very hot and humid all day. Lefty-lefty matchup. Sullivan waggles the bat. Holds it over his left shoulder. Kinley in the stretch at the letters. 1-1 offering. Fastball high and away. 2-1 the count.
And the key here for Kinley, go to the changeup. Keep the ball low. Hopefully Sullivan rolls over one, because this Bourne lineup does not strike out a lot, with the exception of Davey. This order knows how to put the ball in play and make the defense work. Keep the baseball low. No threat of a ball in the outfield.
2-1 on the way. Fastball sweeps inside, almost hits Sullivan. 3-1 the count, nowhere to put him. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 1-0 Bourne. In the top of the second inning. Jackson in on the grass at third. Everybody else is back. Kinley in the stretch, third base side. Rice sets, 3-1. Fastball high, ball 4. The intentional walk move does not pay off. Blake Alamond trots in and scores. An RBI walk for Brett Sullivan. Everybody moves up a base. 2-0 Braves here in the second.
We've seen this before. Walking in runs, walks period, was the story of this team's season when it comes to the pitching staff. A lot of walks, a lot of hit batters. This Cotuit club on the season led the Cape League in walks allowed. 210. Starting to show in here in the postseason.
If you wanted a walking guy intentionally, that would have been Mark Laird. First pitch fastball, low outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Laird is 7 for his last 10 against Cotuit pitching. 3 for 4 last night. 3 for 5 in the previous game that these two teams played here on July 29th. And 1 for 1 so far today. 0-1, fastball hits outside. Or misses, I should say. Count even at 1.
Yeah, that walk total, if you take a look, it finished 53 higher. That was the next team in line, Chatham at 157.
1-1, fastball. Misses low and in. 2-1 the count. And strategy has gotten the Kettleers in a jam here. Machine at third, Martin at second, Sullivan at first. 2-0 Bourne. On a home run and a bases-loaded walk are how the Braves have their 2 runs. 2-1 offering. Fastball. Outer paint. Taken for a strike. 2-2 the count on Laird, the center fielder from LSU.
2-out hitting, Greg, was the difference last night. Could be the case once again. Martin Jr.'s home run was a leadoff home run. The walk with 2 outs. Laird, a very good hitter. Let's see if he comes through.
2-2 on the way. Curveball chopped right up front. Kinley picks it up, flips to first in time to get Mark Laird. The Braves leave him loaded, but not before Sullivan takes an RBI walk. We're through 1.5 here at Lowell Park. The Braves have 1 across in each of their first 2 innings. 2-0 Bravos here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. The 2014 Cape League Playoffs presented by Rockland Trust. Stay with us.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com. For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, two of America's favorite pastimes. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about
2-0 Bourne as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Brendan Hendricks, the first baseman from USF, leads it off. First pitch fastball misses high for ball one. USF, the University of San Francisco, at the plate versus USF, University of South Florida, on the mound. 1-0, nubbed back to the screen. Count even at 1-1 on Hendricks. Herget does not throw real hard, but tucks himself to where he hides his right arm. 1-1 on the way. Slider misses low and away. 2-1 the count. Almond remains even with the bag at third. Wind to the 2-1. Hendricks, broken bat, hit out into shallow left field, a base hit. So Brendan Hendricks, the second Kettleers hit on the ball game. The leadoff man aboard for the first time today. That brings up Jake Fincher. Fincher, last night was very good. 2 for 2, 2 singles, a run scored, and 2 stolen bases. Both of those coming back in the fourth. He also walked in the fifth. The right fielder from North Carolina State, sports number 16. Righty-righty matchup. Hergen in the stretch, first base side of the rubber. Hendricks going, first pitch. Fincher hits it high, down the left field line. Machine runs for it, but it falls in the Kettleers bullpen. 0-1 the count on Fincher. Beautiful day for baseball here at Lowell Park. Herget gets the sign from Delay. Sets at the belt. Nods his head. Delivers the 0-1. Fincher a bunt. It's a good one. Down the third base line. Herget lets it go foul. And now there's some confusion as to whether the bunt was fair or foul. The bunt clearly rolled foul. The thing, though, here at Lowell Park, and I actually never noticed it until I just looked at it right now, like Wareham, there is no chalk down the base paths. The foul line is the cut of the infield grass. So anything that goes in the baseline is a foul ball. 0-2 on the way to Fincher. Hit on the ground. At first should be 2. Wheel flips to second for 1. On to first. Double play. 3-6-3 on the DP. Wheel gets back to cover. 2 outs now for Jeremy Taylor.
Number 11, Jeremy J.T. Taylor.
Taylor sporting a zebra striped sleeve on his left arm. Taylor did not start or play in yesterday's ball game. The East Tennessee State left fielder hit .239 during the regular season. First pitch curveball at the knees, taken for a strike, 0-1. 0-1 offering from Herget. Taylor shows bunt, pulls back, fastball sweeps low and in. 91 on the gun. Count even at 1. Alamond still even with the bag at third. Rest of the infield back. 1-1, fastball, sweeps inside. Taylor has to scooch out of the way. 2-1. Taylor hooks the 2-1 Down the right field line, foul. Into the trees. Count even up at 2-2. 2-0 Braves here in the bottom of the second inning. 4 runs for Bourne, 2 for Cotuit. Herget winds, kicks, delivers the 2-2. Taylor hits on the ground at second base. Sullivan picks it up, gobbles to his left, flips on to first in time to retire JT. A leadoff single, but a nifty double play from Xander Wheel ends the threat for the Kettleers. We've played 2 here in Cotuit. Still 2-0 Bourne here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network, Comcast Channel 99 from Mashpee to Chatham and Channel 13 in Sandwich. This is the 2014 Cape League Playoffs presented by Rockland Trust.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Happy 100th birthday to the Chatham Bars Inn, one of the world's most honored resorts. The Chatham Bars Inn offers the Cape's finest dining and oceanfront views. For a time you'll always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn.
Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities ranging.
Start of the third inning at Lowell Park, a 2-0 lead for the Bourne Braves. As 4, 5, and 6 come to the plate for Harvey Shapiro's squad. Shapiro earned victory number 250 in his career earlier this season, entered the year at 248. And Harvey in search of his second and Bourne Brave second Cape League title. Xander Wheel bats from the right side, a slight open stance. He faces Kinley. First pitch on the way. Change up, drops in the outside corner, called a strike to the Vanderbilt first baseman, Xander Wheel. Wheel 0 for 1, popped to Ian Rice behind home plate. Bourne leads the series 1-0. It won at Dorn Park last night, 5-3. 0-1, change up again, this time out in front of home plate. A ball and a strike on Wheel. Wheel, Davey, and Alamont expected to hit for the Bravos against the Kettleers here in the third, 1-1. Fastball at 88, misses away. 2 balls and a strike. 4 hits, 2 runs for Braves. 2 hits, no runs for the Kettleers. Brendan Hendricks had a leadoff single in the home half of the second. Double play by Jake Fincher, able to get him out of it. 2-1, swing and a miss. Changeup gets Wheel off his wheels. Now 2-2. Infield straight away for the Kettleers. Hendricks shaded over to the right side of the first base bag. Jackson glinds in the outfield, way to the left in left center. 2-2. Hit on the ground over to third. Jackson gets a hold of it on one knee. Throw to first in time to retire Xander Wheel. 1 down here in the top of the third. Brings up Blake Davey. He ended the first inning striking out on a changeup. The amount of times Davey has struck out this season, as Greg adhered to earlier today, just anemic. First pitch from Kinley. Changeup, misses low in the dirt. No strikes and 1 ball on the right fielder from UConn. Davey struck out 50 times in 148 at-bats this season. 1-0 is sliced to the right. It tails out of play. Davey with the wavy brown hair outside of the helmet has the playoff beard going. Black cleats with the Nike swooshes on the outer half of the toes. Kinley holds the glove in front, accepts the sign from Rice, fires 1-1. Curveball bends across, but ruled the ball low. 2-1 on Davey. So a third of his at-bats this year were likely a strikeout. 2-1 pitch. Fastball hammered to right. Fincher on the run. He now comes back. It drops out of the yard. Blake Davey goes deep to extend Bourne's lead to 3. 3-0 Bravos with 1 out here in the top of the third. Second home run for the Braves today. Davey hits homer number 6. And his second against the Kettleers. Kinley has allowed a pair of home runs. Mike Roberts out to the mound to speak with his starter from Michigan State. Jeff Kinley, in his only 2 starts as a collegiate pitcher, have come in the Cape Cod Baseball League. 5 innings in his first starting stint. Went very smooth against Wareham in a 6-2 loss for Cotuit. And he also threw 6 innings on July 31st against Hyannis, the day done after 2 1/3 innings pitched. Nick Eichholz has been called on by Mike Roberts to come in and pitch. 1 out, top of the third at Lowell Park. Bourne currently leads 3-0 here in Game 2 and also leads the series 1-0. Kettleers playoff baseball plays right here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. It's brought to you by Rockland Trust. Pitching change, Nick Eichholz. We'll have more after this.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
The Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth and try one today. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, 2 of America's favorite pastimes. For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs.
Pitching change at Lowell Park with 1 out in the top of the third. The hitter, Blake Allemond, against Nick Eichholz, right-hander from Alabama, set to go back to school on August 14th, so his departure from the Kettleers is coming soon. Mike Roberts goes to him out of the pen. Right-hander into the windup against the left-handed hitter, Allemond. A fastball pumps the glove of Rice. On the outer half, it's 0-1. Drew Jackson, even with the bag down the third baseline. Hendricks still shies to the far right of the first base bag. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Change up low and away. An open stance for Allemond had him on his toes. Now 0-2. Kinley not responsible for any runners on after the home run by Blake Davey. 0-2 pitch. Fastball barely gets a piece. It goes off the fingertips of Rice. Sports a long black sleeve with some gray lettering on it. Shakes it off. And now does some straggles of the feet behind the plate just to shake things off. Home plate umpire Mike Sadowski gives Eichholz some extra time in order for Rice to recover. He's all right. Count 0-2 with 1 out. 3-0 Bourne here in Game 2 of the Western Division semifinals. Fastball outside. 1-2. 2 home runs and a bases-loaded walk have plated all 3 runs for the Bravos today. 1-2. Curveball cuts across, misses upstairs. 2-2 on Allemande. He doubled and scored in the second. 1 run scored for the Bravos in each inning thus far tonight. Eichholz winds and deals a 2-2. Change up, dips away. Full count on Allemande. A Richie Martin Jr. home run to lead off the game. Allemande doubled. Was plated on a Brett Sullivan walk. This pitch chopped down the first baseline, foul by Allemande. Count stays full. And Blake Davey connects on an opposite field home run. It looked like Jake Fincher had a chance to reel it in, but all the way to the track, he could only throw his glove up in hope. 3-2 pitch. Misses low, ball 4. Eichholz puts up his hands. He disagrees with the call by Sadowski. A 1-out walk to Blake Allemande. Still very early in this game, so Cotuit fans still should have some hope. 3-0 Bourne here in Game 2. Kettleers lost last night 5-3 at Doran Park, a game that started at 7:30 due to hideous weather the last few days. Eichholz's pickoff throw over to first goes over the head of Hendricks. Allemande's over to second now. A bad throw from Eichholz on the pick try. Could be distracted from that previous non-strike call. And now Bourne has another runner in scoring position. No action warming in the Kettleers bullpen in case Eichholz gets in any more trouble. 1 out, top of the third, 3-0 Braves. On the 2013 champion Cotuit Kettleers. Bourne has bounced Cotuit in the postseason twice in the last 6 years. They could do it again for the 3rd time in 6 seasons. Eichholz sets the first pitch on the way to Brian Serven as a fastball up and in. A ball and no strikes on the catcher from Arizona State. Cotuit was swept 2-0 in 2009. Allows Harvey Shapiro and Bourne to capture the franchise's only Cape League title. In 2012, the number 1 seed Kettleers were bounced in the first round by the 4th seeded Bravos. Curveball misses away, 2-0 on Serven. Bryan singled in the second. Was retired on the fielder's choice by V Machine. Right-handed hitter climbs back in as Eichholz stares in for the sign from Ian Rice. Allemande leads from second. 2-0 pitch. Fastball nearly hits him in the back. He gets out of the way. It's now 3-0. Outfield straight away for the Kettleers. Drew Jackson, as he did a lot yesterday, hugging that third base line. Hendricks far to the right of the first base bag. 3-0 pitch. Fastball low, ball 4. At least it sets up a force at any base but home. A 1-out walk and back-to-back walks by Nick Eichholz. Not the way you want to start in relief for Jeff Kinley. Kinley's line tonight, 2 1/3, allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. He walked 1 and struck out 3. The one thing you'd have to say is a positive about his outing, the home runs were solo shots from Davey and Martin. First pitch on the way to Machine. Change up, cuts away, called a strike on the outer half to the left-handed hitter from Virginia Commonwealth. Machine reached at a fielder's choice, got all the way to third base on back-to-back walks by Jeff Kinley. 0-1, first and second. Bourne leads 3-0, trying to add on here in Game 2, and Eichholz bluffs over to second. Bourne Braves' only Cape League title was in 2009. The number 1 overall seed, 28 franchise wins, the most in team history. 0-1, change up away, a ball and a strike. Cotuit reversed its regular season record from last year. You take a look at the season for the Kettleers. Finished 18-25-1. Cotuit was 25-18-1 last year. 1-1. Fastball hit on the ground, over to the hold. At second, Taylor to the dive. It's through, a base hit. Allemande rounds third. He's going to come in and score. The throw off line to Rice. Now it gets to the backstop. Eichholz wasn't backing up the throw. Serven scores. Machine up to second base. The Bravos have a 5-0 lead with 1 out here on the top of the third. Eichholz was backing up the first throw to home plate. And it got away from Rice. And there was no move. Now Mike Roberts is on to make another change. Second of this inning. Adam Witt. Check that. Travis Duke is going to come in for the Kettleers. Left-handed pitcher from Texas. The 2014 season is on the line today, as we said at the top of our broadcast. Well, now Cotuit is really in danger. 5-0, Bourne on top of the Kettles with one out, top of the third. It's not Travis Duke either. Grayson Jones in to pitch for Cotuit. Machines at second, 2 runs in Servan and Alamond. A 3-run third inning has Bourne a 5-0 advantage. We'll have more Cape League playoff baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network, brought to you by the Rockland Trust Bank.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our community's customers and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com. The Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth and try one today. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities ranging from 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams to an outstanding theater program. Explore Curry College online at curry.edu.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here on the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Second pitching change of the top of the third. 1 out in the inning. Greg Moraz rejoins me here. I'm Brendan Glasheen. 5-0 lead for the Bravos. 3 runs in this third. They scored 1 in the second, also 1 in the first. Jason DeLay on to pitch against Grayson Jones. The right-hander winds and kicks. Fastball up and in from the Shelton State Community College right-hander.
Jones, this is 8th appearance, 14 innings, a 7.07 ERA. 12 hits, 11 runs allowed. All of them earned 12 walks and 14 strikeouts.
1-0 pitch inside. But home plate umpire Sadowski says he went around 1-1 on delay. He struck out swinging on a changeup. Another error has been put on the scoreboard. Not exactly sure who gets the error, but the throw to Ian Rice was offline. This pitch popped up by delay down the first base line. Hendricks comes over just behind the Bourne dugout, makes the grab. Machine has to hold at second. Delay retired for the second time tonight. There's 2 down for Martin Jr.
I would think that they have to charge that error to Jake Fincher because the throw was so far offline. It went through the 5-hole of Ian Rice, but still. You could also charge a mental error to Nick Eichholz. Not that you can do that, but not backing up, that caused the 5th run to score.
Eichholz was down the first base line as opposed to the third base line. I've never seen that. Curveball goes behind Rice. Mentioned the 5-hole. Well, it goes through that time. Down to third goes Machine. Fincher's throw was indeed offline. A tough play for Ian Rice. One run was definitely going to score on that play. But Nick Eichholz was set up to the right of home plate. And from our vantage point at least, and was not backing up the throw in a proper spot. This pitch fouled off. Now, if the throw was coming from left field, you'd understand where he was standing. But he was on the first base side on a throw from right. So the ball is heading in a direction towards the left side of the plate, meaning you'd want to be on the left side of the field, down the third base line. Jones winds the 1-1 pitch to Martin. Called a strike at 93 on the outer half. 1-2 on the shortstop from Florida. A solo home run in the top of the first to get this ball game started for this Bravos offense. Intentionally walked in the second, which came back to bite Cotuit, considering Sullivan walked on 5 pitches. 1-2, booted to the right, out of play, into the trees.
I'm no Nostradamus of coaching, but I can imagine that Eichholt's not backing up down the third base line may have gone into Mike Roberts' decision to pull him.
A lackadaisical type of play for the righty from Alabama. 1-2. Curveball misses inside. Martin throws up the stop sign to Machine. His teammate tells him not to come down the third base line. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs in the top of the third. Bourne leads Cotuit 5-0 in Game 2 of the Western Division semifinals. The 4-seed Kettleers in danger of getting their season shut down by this Bourne club once again. 2-2 from Jones. Curveball blooped into right. Fincher's on the run hard. He makes the catch by the tee in Cotuit on his left side. Inning finally retired. 7 come to the plate for the Bravos and 3 runs come in. We're through 2.5 here at Lowell Park. 5-0 Braves. On the Cape Cod Baseball League Network, Cape League playoffs continue, presented by Rockland Trust.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters and we're committed to supporting our community's customers and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com. For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you. Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Co. of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal employees. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
We're just past the 5 o'clock hour here at Lowell Park. A clear day. Clouds behind us here in the press box. A sunny day as well. The rain has escaped the forecast, but the gloomy feeling of rain on the Cotuit end. A 5-0 Bourne lead here in Game 2 of the Western Division Round 1 semifinal playoffs. First pitch to Jordan Ebert. Misses upstairs and away. The Kettleers are still hitting through for the first time. Richie Martin Jr. has already hit 3 times. Jordan Ebert gets his first at bat. Second baseman from Auburn awaits the 1-0. Fastball high and away. A long wait for Jimmy Herget, Greg. 2 pitching changes last half inning for the Kettleers. So you mentioned it off the air moments ago. Herget really wants this, and let's see if he can bounce back and take advantage of the run support. 3-0 pitch is slammed into center. A long run in for Laird. He's jolting in. It bloops in, a base hit. No one's covering second. Now Herget comes over. The throw is not picked in the dirt. Ebert's thinking third. Now he changes his mind and holds up at second base. Laird, Martin, and Sullivan were all in on that play in center field. No one covered second base, so Ebert takes advantage. I guess it's a leadoff double.
Yeah, because there's no real error there. Although, if Herget had been covered, Herget went to cover. If Herget had been in the right spot and had, well, actually, Herget was in the right spot. Had Laird made any semblance of a good throw, Ebert's probably out at second base.
And probably given a single than a put out at second base. Ebert starts things off in a solid way here in the third. The batter, Drew Jackson, waves on and misses the first pitch of this at-bat. A 79-mile-per-hour bender. Jackson, the third baseman from Stanford, gets the nod again, hitting on the 9-hole. The blue batting gloves with some white trim. Herget sets at the belt. The righty from USF fires the 0-1. Swing and a miss. This time at 81 miles per hour, working away to Jackson. Nobody out. Ebert starts things off with a bloop double into center. Just Cotuit's third hit as they still hit for the first time through the order. Logan Taylor on deck. 0-2. Bloop to the right side. Davey over a few steps to his left. He makes the catch, tagging at second. Ebert, no chance as Martin Jr. cuts off the throw between right and third. So Jackson does the job, advancing Ebert 90 more feet. He's now 90 feet away from scoring Cotuit's first run. And now it's up to Logan Taylor to try and drive him in here with one out here in the last of the third.
Bit by bit, that's the type of attitude you have to take in comeback situations like this. You can't try and get all of it back in one heartfelt swoop, especially against a guy like Jimmy Herget, who, number one, wants it almost as much as anybody on that Bourne Brave squad, but number two, has been dealing here today, other than a pair of singles here and there.
Taylor ropes the first pitch to the right side. It tails out of play into the trees, 0-1. He popped to first in his first at bat. Cotuit now batting the second time through the order with Taylor's at bat. Ebert at third base on a sac fly. It's funny you mentioned one pitch, one at bat at a time. Very cliche, but Brian Scott brought that up in the Scott Scoop before the game. Fastball away to Taylor. No temptation. It's 1-1. That's the approach you have to have whether you're winning or losing. When you're trailing a series in the postseason, you have to approach every at-bat as if it's your last. Taylor waggles the bat, his traditional style. An open stance, the A&M third baseman awaits. Pass ball upstairs and in. 2-1. Infield back for the Bravos. A 5-0 lead certainly means they wouldn't mind trading a run for an out. Taylor touches the end of home plate. Strong open stance on the right side as Herget sets at the belt. He breathes, 2-1. Up the middle, through the hole, a base hit. Taylor drives in a run. Ebert scores. Cotuit's on the board. It's 5-1 with one out here in the bottom of the third.
Herget has a lot of movement on his pitches, but when he doesn't get balls that move across the zone that much, they're very hittable. Jimmy Herget had a great season this year at the University of South Florida as a starting pitcher at a 1.23 ERA. But Herget has been hit around in the Cape League, and I'm not trying to belittle the strength of the American Athletic Conference, but he's struggled against better competition.
First pitch to Jackson Glines. Curveball too low and in. 1-0 on the center fielder from Michigan. Grounded over to first base at Xander Wheel in his first at bat. 1 ball, no strikes. An RBI single for Taylor. 1-0 pitch. Jackson grounds it into the dugout of Bourne just by Harvey Shapiro. With his left foot posted up on the top step. Right hand grasping the green fence of the visitor dugout. The ball and a strike on Glines. Allows the bat to sit on his left shoulder. Awaits the 1-1. Fastball driven to left. Overcomes V Machine in left center. Trots a couple of steps backward and makes the catch. Glines retired, F7. 2 down for Kyle Holder.
You know, V Machine out in left field didn't get a great jump on that, and I wonder if that plays any factor. The corner outfielders for the Bourne Braves, Blake Davey, primarily a first baseman, and V Machine for VCU and for Danbury was a shortstop.
Kyle Holder has a chance now with 2 down. Taylor at first base. First pitch. Kyle takes a changeup at 79 on the outer half. 0-1 to the left-handed hitter from San Diego. Shortstop single to give Cotuit their first hit in the first inning. A right knee injury broke up his season in half. Left after June 25th. Returned on July 26th at Orleans. Has been in the starting lineup ever since for Mike Roberts over at short. 0-1 offering from Herget. Fastball hit on the ground down the right field line. It rolls foul. No play for Brian Bamenek, the first base coach for Cotuit. Coach Bamenek rocking the playoff beard. I think he shaved midway through the season and then decided to go all out. And, man, if this playoff run continues, might look like Mike Napoli over there at first base. He helps Taylor out at first. He leads. 0-2 pitch to Holder. No chance. Fastball high and away. 1-2.
Although knowing Coach Bambanek, he might just be doing it out of the fact that he forgot to shave and forgot to shave and forgot to shave.
We've heard that one before. The American flag is moving out there in left center, so the wind blowing. Holder pops it up to the right. No play for Delay, the catcher. Still 1-2.
Coach Bambanek, one of the most fun guys ever, and I want to bring up a little thing that happened. Coach Bambanek decided to call 3 of the Cotuit players, Kyle Holder, Drew Jackson, Jeremy Taylor, and leave them voicemails as me, Greg Mirage, your broadcaster.
He claims he did not do that, but I would not be surprised. 1-2 goes over the head of Holder. He ducks out of the way. Pitch at 92 from Herget. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I asked him, I said, come on, Greg's not here. You can tell me the truth. Did you call those guys and pretend to sound like Greg Mirage? Because he's an easy kid to impersonate. And he said, I swear, didn't do it. 2-2. Holder drives it the other way. A base hit. No chance for Martin to snag the glove out and get it. Up to second, Logan Taylor. He claps his hands in approval of the base hit for Holder. He's 2 for 2.
Herget has actually had trouble against the Kettleers after Bourne has scored a lot of runs. Back in the first start of the year, Herget gave up 6 runs in 1/2 inning, if I remember correctly, after Bourne had scored 2.
The last time he pitched against Cotuit, Herget went 6 innings, allowed 3 runs, 6 hits. Cotuit won the game, though, 9-5. Ian Rice steps in on the right side. The Chipola College catcher takes a fastball away, 1-0. 2 outs, first and second. Cotuit trails 5-1 here in Game 2 of the Western Division semifinals. Ian Rice had a double in last night's game. Holds the bat close to his right shoulder. Pitch upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes on the hopeful transfer to Houston this coming fall. You're right about Herget, though. I mean, it was a no decision, his last appearance against the Kettleers July 8th. As the pitch looked at on the outer half, called a strike, a changeup from Herget, 2-1 on Rice. And the first start of the year against the Kettleers, first 4 innings for the Bravos, allowed 8 hits, 6 earned runs. So Cotuit has touched him up for a total of 9 earned runs in 10 innings. The pitch hit to center, a long run in for Laird. It bloops in, a base hit. Logan Taylor rounds third. He comes in and scores. 5-2. Ian Rice, an RBI single. Slowly but surely, the Kettleers inching their way back in this one. First and second, 2 outs. The batter, Brendan Hendricks.
And now there's a meeting on the mound between Richie Martin Jr., Jason DeLay, and Jimmy Herget. And Herget's got to stop the bleeding soon for the sake of he needs to be able to go longer than 5 innings. Bourne did not use a ton of their bullpen last night, but they want to be able to get it to Joey Strain at some point should they still hold the lead. But Herget's pitches, he is missing a lot outside. That's where his pitches seemingly, because of his arm angle, he essentially throws across his body. So he'll never miss anything on the inside half. And I think Cotuit hitters are recognizing that and not really swinging at many outside pitches.
First-year pitching coach Ted Hervel out to talk with Herget and Jason DeLay, the catcher. And now the conversation exits at the mound. Hervel and DeLay share some laughs on his trot back to the dugout. Brendan Hendricks, the batter, with first and second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Cotuit trails Bourne 5-2 in the Western Division semifinal round. The winner advances to take on the winner of the Hyannis-Falmouth series. Cotuit, the 4 seed, would not get home field advantage if it advanced either way. Hendricks, the batter, the product from the University of San Francisco, looks at a fastball in the outer half, 0-1. Brendan singled to begin the second inning. Has a maroon bat with bright red batting gloves. Dribbles the bat, pitch, low and in. 1-1. Off speed that time from Herget. Noticed in this at-bat, the first two pitches against Hendricks have been inside, where he's been locating better. He sets at the belt. 1-1. Hendricks slices it to the left. It creeps over by the Kettleers kitchen off the rooftop. 1-2.
I think, though, more of it's just, when I say outside, it's outside to right-handed hitters, which would be inside on left-handed hitters, because the whipping motion naturally carries the ball across, not necessarily directly forward.
1-2. Hendricks pops it up again. This time it's in fair ground. Aleman, a few steps to his left, the third baseman, makes the catch to retire the side. The Kettles are not throwing in the towel just yet. 2 runs here in the bottom of the third. They send 7 guys to the plate. We'll go to the top of the fourth. 5-2 Bravos here in Game 2 of the Western Division semifinals. Cape League playoff baseball right here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network, all brought to you by Rockland Trust. Stick with us.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
The Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth and try one today. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, 2 of America's favorite pastimes.
Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies, such as Zig Tech, Real Flex, and more. Reebok, live with fire. Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities.
Start of the fourth frame at Lowell Park. The Kettleers grab 2 runs in the bottom of the third to pull within 3 against the Bravos. Greg Moraz along my side. Brendan Glasheen here with you for Cape League playoffs presented by Rockland Trust. First pitch fastball upstairs and away to Brett Sullivan. A ball and no strikes on the second baseman from Pacific.
And now the delay factor comes into play for Grayson Jones.
Fastball, knee-high, called a strike. You know, you mentioned, well, rather I mentioned, the fact that Herget had to come into the game in the third after giving up, or after seeing his offense score 3 runs to give the Bravos a 5-0 advantage. The pitch upstairs and in, just by the head of Sullivan. 2 balls and a strike. So now, you mentioned Grayson Jones will have to go with that same effect. 2-1 pitch, popped up behind the plate. Rice has no play. It travels just above our heads into the parking lot. 2-2 on Sullivan. He's 0 for 1. Struck out looking back in the first, walked in the second, an RBI walk. Reason for the RBI was the fact that Richie Martin was intentionally walked to load the bases. 2-2 pitch on the way. Up the middle, Jones fields at his position, throws over to first very nonchalantly. Hendricks makes the catch for the first out of the fourth frame.
That was almost one he didn't decide, like, do I throw this? Do I run it over?
I'd agree. Jimmy Herget's total of pitches is up to 52. And there's still no action in the Bourne pen, so the right-hander from USF should return for the bottom of the fourth. Cotuit touched him up for 2 runs in the last frame. The score 5-2 with 1 out against Mark Laird, LSU center fielder. Change up, outside corner, called a strike to the left-handed hitter. 0-1. Jones, the right-hander from Shelton State, 0-1. Misses in. Fastball at 94 from Grayson. Ball and a strike as Drew Jackson lines up even with the bag down the third baseline. The righty Jones kicks and deals. 1-1 pitch swooped in the dirt by Rice. It drew the ball 2-1.
Jones has got to make sure that he keeps the ball somewhere in the low part of the zone because he's elevated too many times and missed way outside.
Fastball way up and out. Now 3-1. Throughout the game today, we'll be updating you with scores around the rest of the league in the postseason action. Jones winds 3-1. Fastball called a strike. Count full.
YD has added 2 more. They now lead Orleans 5-0. Bottom of the 5th at Red Wilson Field.
The 3-2 pitch on the way to Laird. Change up outside, ball 4. A 1-out walk issued by Grayson Jones. Still 1-0 Harwich in the bottom of the 5th at Stony Brook Field in Brewster. Cody Ponce got the start tonight for the Whitecaps. He only went 3 innings, and that's because he's on an innings limit. But, man, Brewster is finding a way to stay in that game. A lot of props to that club.
They still have the left-handed shortstop, Lamont Wade.
Yes, and he's the leadoff hitter. First pitch, fastball, misses low and in to the right-handed hitter, Xander Wheel. First baseman from Vandy is 0 for 2 tonight. A pop-up in the first behind the plate to Ian Rice. Grounded over to Drew Jackson at third. Back in the third inning. 5-2 Bourne. Jones checks in at first. Nothing doing with Laird, the speedy center fielder from LSU. The Bravos have grabbed a run in every inning so far tonight. The 4th an exception as they hit in this frame right now. 1-0 blocked in the dirt on the outside of home plate. Good play from Rice. 2-0 on Wheel. The Kettleers scored 2 runs last half inning. Couple of RBI singles. One from Ian Rice, another from Logan Taylor. Jordan Ebert and Taylor, the run scorers for Cotuit. Logan's close to the second base bag in double play depth with Kyle Holder. Jackson in on the grass as Hendricks holds on Laird at first. Changeup dips in by the ankles of Wheel, 3-0.
Travis Duke has been loosening for the past half inning, and now looks as if Austin Sexton is loosening up as well.
Double barrel action in the Kettleers bullpen to save their season. 5-2, they trail by 3. Fastball away, ball 4. Jones walks another batter. Back-to-back walks. And that's the second time tonight. If you don't want to count the intentional walk to Richie Martin, third time if you do. The Kettleers have walked back-to-back batters. All by different pitchers. Kinley, Eichholtz, and Grayson Jones. The story of the season. This ball club, the only team to issue more than 200 walks in the Cape Cod Baseball League. First pitch to Davey in the dirt. It gets by Rice. The runners advance into scoring position. Laird to third. Wheel now at second. Greg, one thing you've talked about all season long is shutdown innings. Well, look at this. Your offense grabs 2 runs in the bottom of the third, make it a 3-run game. And now Bourne can get those runs right back with a single here from Davey.
Bourne has scored at least 1 run in every completed inning. That's 3. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third. If you can't hold a team scoreless for an inning, that is not a good sign for what the rest of the game holds.
Infield now in as Jones winds. The 1-0 to Davey. Fastball upstairs. The right-handed hitter from UConn hit a solo shot to plate Bourne's first run of 3 back in the third. He's been a Kettleer killer all year long. 2 homers and 7 RBIs against the Kettles. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Jones elevates up and in. Davey swings through a 91-mile-per-hour heater. 2-1.
But Davey has to make sure that he doesn't try. He did hit a home run in his last at-bat, but that swing that he's putting on the ball, it looks like he wants to hit the ball 500 feet every single time.
He did strike out swinging on a changeup back in the first. 2-1. Fastball outside half, called a strike. He stands straight up. Doesn't like the call from Mike Sadowski, the home plate umpire. Laird at third, Wheel at second. Bourne leads 5-2 here in Game 2 of the Western Division semifinals. Cotuit the 4 seed, Bourne the number 1 overall seed. Davey plants his pivot foot, 2-2 from Jones. Curveball, got him. Swing and a miss. Davey goes down on strikes for the second time on an off-speed pitch. Big second out for Jones. Runners stay put at second and third.
This may be the last time we see Blake Davey this season, but if he can put together numbers that don't have nearly as many strikeouts, this guy could be a future star in the making.
Hopefully he doesn't strike out as much as Adam Dunn. Fastball high by the letters of Blake Allamont.
I actually think per at-bat total, he strikes out more than Adam Dunn.
Another name that comes to mind, Jason Worth. Fastball up and away, 2-0. I mean, you look at the numbers in regular season play. 50 strikeouts and 148 at-bats. A third of his at-bats he struck out this year. Still put together a solid campaign, 2-0. Fastball, 94 knee-high to Allamont, the left-handed hitter from Texas A&M. 2 balls and a strike. Allamont teammates with Logan Taylor, Cotuit's second baseman tonight, 2-1. Allamont swings through it. Now it hits the helmet of Rice on the back end of his swing. Doesn't look good as he goes down. We're going to take a break. Ian Rice has already had a head concussion this season. Doesn't look good as Mike Roberts and Craig Moody, the trainer, come over. We'll take a break. 2 balls and 1 strike. Runners at second and third. 5-2 the score as Bourne leads the Kettleers. Cape League playoff baseball right here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. It's brought to you by the Rockland Trust Bank.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness. Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Happy 100th birthday to the Chatham Bars Inn, one of the world's most honored resorts. The Chatham Bars Inn offers the Cape's finest dining and oceanfront views. For a time you'll always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn. For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Our best wishes to Ian Rice, catcher for the Kettleers, was knocked on the helmet on a backswing by Blake Allamont, left-handed hitter from A&M. The count 2-2 with 2 outs. John Jennings, catcher from UMass, has checked in for Cotuit. Ian Rice has already suffered a head injury this season. Did leave on his own power. Craig Moody, the trainer for the Kettleers, was standing right behind him. Mike Roberts and Brian Scott helped remove his gear to the sideline. So we want to wish the best for Ian Rice as Jennings now accepts a couple of warm-up pitches from Grayson Jones.
Ian Rice is such a tough customer. I mean, it is so sad to have basically the same injury happen to you twice. And Rice was out for 2 weeks. He really couldn't do a whole lot of baseball-related activity. We won't be able to really find out exactly what this injury is specifically, but I mean, Ian Rice has been such a boost to the Kettleers at the end of the year, and when he got hurt the first time, he was probably the hottest hitter on the ball club for the previous 3 ball games.
So John Jennings will now catch on the back end. The count 2-2 upstairs, and now this puts Grayson Jones in a tough spot because it's second and third with 2 outs. Bourne leads 5-2 here in Game 2 of the Western Division semifinals. 3-2 pitch. Fastball laced down the right field line. It rolls foul into the chain link fence. Jones catches a break. Still 3-2 on Aleman. You look at the breakdown here for Ian Rice. He missed some time based on the injury. Fastball high and away, ball 4. Runners at second and third hold as Wheel at second, Laird at first. Aleman takes the free bag. Bases juiced of Bourne Braves. The first injury sidelined Rice for 12 days. July 13th against YD is when he suffered the injury at home. His next appearance was July 25th in a 6-2 loss, the game in which Jeff Kinley did indeed start his first game as a Kettleer hurler. Jones now has to work with the bases loaded. First pitch curveball drops in for a strike on Brian Servan, the DH from Arizona State. 0-1.
Travis Duke, Mike Roberts just signaled down to with V Machine, the left-handed hitter standing on deck. Could imagine this might be Jones' last batter.
Curveball again inside, but too far and in. It's 1-1. Bourne has struck for a run in every completed inning tonight. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third. Threatening with the bases loaded with 2 outs. Currently a 5-2 lead on Cotuit. Swing and a miss. Picked in the dirt right by the feet of John Jennings. Jennings, college teammates with Lexington Blue Sox, Lowell, Massachusetts native Mike Hart. Talked to John Jennings about Mike before the game. Mike actually plays some outfield for the Lexington Blue Sox. 1-2, curveball misses up and in. Mike was here in Cotuit scrimmage games earlier this season. So I mention that to John before the game, and both being catchers, he did indeed spend some time with Mike. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Jones. Jennings will tag home base to record the out officially. Cotuit escapes the inning. First time tonight a Kettleers pitching staff has not given up a run in Bourne's hitting half-half. The score 5-2 as we head to the home half of the 4th. The Kettleers are in jeopardy of falling in the first round. They need 3 more over the span of these next few innings. Cape League playoff baseball right here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. It's brought to you by the Rockland Trust.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com. Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies, such as Zig Tech, Real Flex, and more. Reebok, live with fire.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here on the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Back at Lowell Park, a 5-2 advantage for Jimmy Herget. He returns to the hill after allowing 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd against the Kettleer Bats. Jake Fincher lead off the bottom of the 4th. First pitch swinging, a fastball nubbed on the hands, over to second. Picked up by Sullivan. Throw to first is Wheel. Snags it for out number 1.
I think it's a benefit to the Kettleers if they take the first pitch. I understand that you want to try and be aggressive, but Herget, the more that I see him pitch, the more I realize that, and a score update for you, bottom of the 6th now, YD has added 2 more. It's now 7-0 Red Sox over the Orleans Firebirds.
Taylor shoots the pitch out into left center field. On the run, the left fielder machine. It's rolling to the wall. Taylor, good speed. Tags second base. Throw in is cut off by Martin Jr. A stand-up double for Jeremy Taylor. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. That was quick.
And now Harvey Shapiro is getting some action up in his bullpen out beyond right field. And Herget clearly does not have it at this point. He's given up a hit in every inning. And he's already given up 7 hits today. The Kettleers, over the span of their last 9 1/3 innings, or rather 12 1/3 innings played, have recorded 7 hits while only scoring 19 hits.
Ebert tries to bunt. He does indeed square, but misses the pitch. 0-1 on the 81-mile-per-hour slider from Herget. 0-1 the count with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Taylor's at second base. Cotuit down 3. Trying to come back here in Game 2. It dropped Game 1 last night, 5-3 at Doran Park. Herget sets at the belt. 0-1 pitch to Ebert. Fastball sliced to the right. Popped lightly out of play. One thing you have to also remember. Bourne starting pitching has allowed 17 Cotuit hits. Travis Bergen allowed 10 yesterday. A Bourne starter has only allowed 10 or more hits 3 times this year. Herget could do it again with 3 more Cotuit base knocks. Fastball high, 2-2.
The way things are going, Cotuit could possibly have 12 hits by the end of the 5th inning.
7 hits, 2 runs for the Kettleers. 6 hits, 5 runs for the Bravos. Cotuit has 2 errors tonight as well. Taylor's going to steal third as Herget pauses in the balance position. Easily over to third. Pitch away, 2-2 on Ebert. Odd sequence there. And it was also ruled a balk. Taylor bolted the minute he saw Herget pause the way he did with his balance foot. Regardless, balk or not, Taylor had third base snagged, no problem.
I think the fact that Taylor recognized that it could be called a balk is the reason why he took off as fast as he did.
Now Harvey Shapiro has some words from Mike Sadowski, the home plate umpire. So the pitch doesn't count. The count 1-2, so it was indeed a balk because the pitch to Ebert does not count. And now Mike Roberts just wants to confirm the ruling here with Sadowski. Rather quick conversation there, typically longer with head coach Mike Roberts. He's back down the third base line. The shadows dripping down the third base line. Ebert just needs a fly ball to the outfield to play Cotuit's third run. Let's see what he gets here. Herget sets, 1-2. Ebert swings through it. As Herget elevates with the fastball to get the strikeout on Jordan Ebert. That's Herget's first strikeout today.
That's not incredible. Well, I would say that that's unbelievable that he hasn't struck out a batter to this point, but when you look at the way he's pitched, he hasn't thrown a whole lot of pitches that are strikes that you would just look at.
Up the middle, it goes off the glove of Herget, rolls over to Martin Jr., throw to first, he won't make it. Taylor scores. Jackson lines it right back up the middle on the ground, goes off Herget's glove. No play for Martin Jr. at first. Taylor scores 5-3.
That went off of his glove, and then it went off of his right hand. It deflected from his glove right to his hand. Then it popped straight in the air, and Martin Jr. had no chance to make any form of a play.
Cotuit's third run and 8th hit off Jimmy Herget. Still 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. 39 minutes past the 5 o'clock hour. Here in Cotuit, Massachusetts. Greg Mraz, along myself, Brendan Glasheen, with 2 down in the 4th. Kettleers down 2 here in Game 2. Logan Taylor Streams at a fastball in the outer half. It's 0-1. Taylor had an RBI single back of the third. He also scored one of Cotuit's 3 runs. An open stance on the right side for the third baseman from A&M. 0-1. No pitch. Down to second goes Jackson. He's tagged out on a stolen base try. The rally over here in the fourth. Cotuit does plate a run, though, on a Drew Jackson base hit off the glove of Jimmy Herget to score Jeremy Taylor. We're through 4 innings here in Game 2 of the Western Division semifinals at Lowell Park. Bourne leads Cotuit 5-3 on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Cape League Playoff Baseball brought to you by Rockland Trust.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies, such as Zig Tech, Real Flex, and more. Reebok, live with fire. A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, 2 of America's favorite pastimes.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Kettleers have struck for 1 in, or rather, the Kettleers have struck for 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth. It's 5-3 Bourne as we head to the top half of the 5th inning. New pitcher on for the Kettleers, Travis Duke, the lefty from Texas. Duke on the season for the Kettleers. Made his last appearance against the Falmouth Commodores on Tuesday, returning from his strained oblique. A 6.08 ERA in 13 of the third innings pitched. This his 11th appearance, 15 hits, 10 runs, 9 of them earned, 7 walks and 3 strikeouts. First pitch on the way to V Machine, misses high and in for ball 1. Defensive change of note, Kyle Lewis now out in right field for Jake Fincher. 1-0 fastball, misses away. 2-0 the count on the left fielder from VCU. An RBI single back in the third. Grounded into a fielder's choice in the second. Lefty-lefty matchup. Jackson on the grass at third. 2-0 fastball from Duke. Misses high. 3-0. On deck, Jason DeLay, catcher from Vanderbilt. Herget's day does not appear to be done. No more action in the Braves bullpen. Duke sets, delivers the 3-0. Change up, outside corner, called strike 1. 3-1 now on Machine.
He's thrown a ton of strikes, Herget, at 61 pitches through 4 innings.
Machine on the ground to the right side, bounces through the hole between first and second, a base hit. Machine is 2 for 3. You could say he's a hitting machine. Literally.
Like Albert Pujols.
Except Albert Pujols' name isn't Albert Machine.
We're talking about the Sports Center commercial.
Yes.
I am not a machine. My name is Albert.
Fortunately, you're not talking about Brian Wilson of the San Francisco Giants machine. Here's Jason DeLay, catcher from Vanderbilt. 0 for 2, first pitch swinging, slices it foul. Out of play to the right side, 0-1. But yeah, that Albert Pujols commercial, that was back when he was with the Cardinals.
That's right.
That was back when Albert Pujols was the best hitter in baseball. That honor now goes to Miguel Cabrera or Mike Trout. Hendricks holds on Machine at first. Delay hits it hard out in the left center field gap. That's a base hit. Glines cuts it off quickly. We've talked about shutdown innings. Grayson Jones did convert in the fourth, but already another threat going for the Braves. The first two men have reached, and it brings up Richie Martin Jr., who's already homered and drawn an intentional walk today. Harvey Shapiro flashes the signs at third. Machine at second, Delay at first. 5-3, Bourne leads Cotuit here in Game 2 of the Western Division semifinals. Corners in for the Kettles. Martin shows bunt, pulls back. Fastball misses high for ball one.
You want to talk about an argument for an MVP? Well, typically in this spot with first and second, nobody out in a close playoff game, you want your best hitter to swing. He's willing to bunt, move the guys over.
1-0, Martin hits in the hole between third and short, a base hit. Machine is held up at third by Harvey Shapiro. Bases loaded with nobody out. Martin is 2 for 3.
In that situation, with 2 outs, I think you send the Machine, but because of Jeremy Taylor's poor arm, but still nobody out, load the bases again for the second consecutive inning. Check that, third consecutive inning the bases have been loaded. Give Sullivan, potentially Laird, a chance with the bases juiced.
The fact that this is a 2-run ball game speaks highly to Jimmy Herget's inability to shut down Cotuit batters. First pitch to Brett Sullivan. Fastball misses inside for ball one. Sullivan was in this situation before. Actually, I'm looking back at the numbers. 4th consecutive inning that Bourne has loaded the bases. 1-0 fastball, misses low and away, 2-0. They loaded him in the second.
Right.
Loaded him again in the third. Loaded him in the fourth. That was the only time they didn't score. And 3 straight singles have loaded them in the fifth.
Yep, you're right.
2-0 on the way. Sullivan hooks it foul down the first base side. Sullivan had an RBI walk back in the second.
And this year with the bases loaded, the Bourne Braves hit .347. Drove in 41 runs in 49 at-bats.
Infield in at all spots. 2-1 offering from Duke. Curveball. Misses high. Count to 3-1, and Sullivan is 1 ball away from drawing his second RBI walk on the evening.
That's a tough call because he ducked that pitch. It was a great pitch there from Duke. It went by his head, so he ducked it, reached home plate over the heart.
3-1, Sullivan pops it foul over towards the parking lot. Full count. Nobody out. Bases loaded. Top of the fifth. 5-3 Bourne.
This has to be the turning point of the game. Because if you can keep the ball game at this score right now, you're all right. But if this game breaks open, they're in trouble.
Payoff on the way, and it hits Sullivan. An RBI hit by pitch. Mike Roberts coming out to the mound. And that's it for Travis Duke. Luke Leftwich. Check it, Jackson McClelland coming into the ball game. 6-3 Braves here in the fifth. Bases loaded, still nobody out. This pitching change is brought to you by the Fuller Family Foundation. 6-3 Bourne. Pitching change on hand. We'll be back right after this on the Rockland Trust Playoffs Network.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
The Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth and try one today. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies, such as Zig Tech, Real Flex, and more. Reebok, live with fire.
For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you. Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Co. of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal employees. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support.
Jackson McClelland on to pitch for the Kettleers. Bases loaded, nobody out. Bourne already has a run across. Here in the fifth, it's 6-3 Braves. And the big right-hander from Pepperdine, McClelland, tries to limit the damage as Mark Laird, who's already 1 for 2, a single and a walk, steps to the plate. McClelland on the season, a 4.79 ERA in 20 2/3 innings. Infield in, Laird bloops it down the left field line, foul. First pitch swinging, the center fielder from LSU trying to put the nail in the coffin of the Kettleers.
You want to talk about that Bourne stat of being 347 with the bases loaded? Well, Mark Laird in 5 at-bats hitting .600 with 6 RBIs in this situation.
McClelland in the stretch, infield in. 0-1 the count, pitch on the way. Laird hits it high and foul into the Kettleers bullpen. 0-2 the count. It's amazing this is still only a 3-run ball game. This is Cotuit's 5th pitcher used. And already Sean Beckman is starting to loosen for the Kettleers. Incredible. McClelland looks to third, 0-2 on the way to Laird. Check swing, appeal down to third, and Rick Emerson says no swing from Laird. Delay at third, Martin at second, Sullivan at first. No outs here in the fifth. This game already at an hour and 50 minutes. 1-2 offering on the way. Laird hits it foul over the grandstands down the third base side. We'll reset and do the 1-2 again. You and I were talking off the air, Brendan. This is a microcosm, this game, at least to the pitching staff of the Kettleers year. Inability to throw strikes. 1-2, change up in the dirt. Appeal down to third, and Rick Emerson says that Mark Laird went around, and I can't believe that they made that call. The Bourne fans not happy. From this vantage point, it looked as if Laird held up. Either way, a big first out for Jackson McClelland. Brings up Xander Wheel.
Jackson McClelland lucked out. And that's a big first out considering the bases are still loaded. Mentioned Laird, 6 RBIs with the bases juiced. A big out to a big hitter.
Here's Xander Wheel, fastball, outside corner. Strike called, 0-1. Wheel on the day, has a walk, and has advanced to second on a wild pitch. Wheel hits it high out of play to the right side, 0-2. Already through 4 1/3 innings. Stat of the day. Bourne has put 16 men on base, including 6 walks, 8 hits, and 2 home, well, 8, 0-2 on the way. Xander Wheel, chopper right to McClelland. McClelland throws home, and that's all that he can do with it. Delay forced out at home. Nice defensive play by Jackson McClelland. Everybody moves up a base. Wheel stands at first on the fielder's choice, but not out of the woods yet, as the man who looks like a grizzly woodsman, Blake Davey steps to the plate. I know why you brought up Jason Wirth earlier when comparing him to Blake Davey.
He looks like him.
Davey is a combo of the Michael Morse hair with the Jason Wirth beard. First pitch, Davey hits out to left field, a base hit. The woodsman drives in Martin. But the throw from Taylor, cut off by Drew Jackson. That's all the Braves will get. Martin scores, 7-3 Bourne, here in the fifth.
Number 1, third baseman from Texas A&M, Blake Coleman.
And the bases stay loaded. Davey comes through with another RBI, his second. Of course, a solo shot back in the third. And there you go. 2 runs come in after the Kettleers scored 2 back in the third, and now this deficit back up. It's now 4.
Blake Allemond has reached every time up. First pitch swinging, high and foul towards the Kettleer bullpen. 0-1 the count. Both of those runs charged to Travis Duke.
Every half inning tonight offensively for Bourne, they've sent at least 5 players to the plate.
0-1 on the way to Allemond. Fastball, high outside corner. Called strike 2.
5 in the first, 7 in the second, 7 in the third, 6 in the fourth. This is the 8th batter to hit in the inning.
0-2 on the way to Allemond. Fastball misses low and away. Count to 1-2.
So if you're tuning in and wondering why this game is only in the top of the 5th at 5:56, well, there you go.
18 runners on for Bourne. 1-2 hit on the ground to second. Taylor gobbles it up, ranges to his right. Left, I should say, throws it on to first in time to finally retire the side. 8 men reach for the Braves. An RBI hit by pitch by Brett Sullivan and an RBI single by Blake Davey. We'll go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. 7-3 Bourne here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network, presented by Rockland Trust.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Co. of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal employees. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Bottom of the 5th inning, 7-3 Bourne. They score 2 in the top half. Logan Taylor leads it off against Jimmy Herget. First pitch, swing and a miss. Change up at 75. Taylor singled and scored back in the 3rd. Lucas Laster, the left-hander from Mississippi State, is loosening in the bullpen for the Braves in case Herget gets in any more trouble. 0-1 hit high and deep to right field. Blake Davey going back. He's going to watch it fly. Solo shot for Logan Taylor. The Kettleers refuse to go away. 7-4, Bourne now leads.
Lucas Laster, the warm-up pitcher, caught the ball just off the end of the rubber. And I was just going to say, before you toss to that pitch, take advantage of Herget while he's still in the game. Taylor already has an RBI single, which came back in the 3rd. And his home runs as of late have gone the other way. He continues to mash. Why? He's the offensive MVP.
First pitch to Jackson Glines, foul back to the screen. 0-1 on the center fielder from Michigan. Davey ran back on that for about 25 feet and then just slowed up. A line shot to right. Glines! Back to back! You can count it! A no-doubter! Light it up! This is a two-run ball game!
I don't know, Harvey Shapiro. Have you seen enough now? Now Martin's going to over-talk with Herget as well as delay. That was a no-brainer. Two fastballs over the heart of the plate from Herget at 90 miles per hour, and your two best hitters mashed them into the bullpen out and right. Taylor and Glines back-to-back. Second time this year we've seen Kettleer 1 and 2 hitters go back-to-back. John Norwood and Rhett Wiseman did it earlier this season, and now that will do it for Herget.
An overdue pitching change for the Bourne Braves. Jimmy Herget gives up 5 runs in 4+ innings of work. Lucas Laster will come on to pitch for the Braves. Hold on. Shapiro has not made a move thus far. He is staring out in the bullpen. There could very well be the possibility, and he's now made the call. Herget done, Laster in, 7-5. Bourne leads Cotuit here in Game 2 of the 2014 Cape League Western Division Playoffs presented by Rockland Trust. 2-run ball game. Stay with us.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you. Happy 100th birthday to the Chatham Bars Inn, one of the world's most honored resorts. The Chatham Bars Inn offers the Cape's finest dining and oceanfront views. For a time you'll always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. There are big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like the balsamic grilled chicken or the tender and juicy top sirloin steak. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies, such as Zig Tech, Real Flex, and more. Reebok. Live with fire.
Back-to-back home runs by Logan Taylor and Jackson Glines knocked Jimmy Herget out of the ball game. 5 runs on 10 hits in 4 innings of work. The new man on to face Kyle Holder is Lucas Laster, the lefty from Mississippi State. First pitch on the way to Kyle Holder. Holder hits it hard to right field. Davey goes back on it. He'll reach up, and the ball goes off of his glove to the base of the fence. Holder cruises into second base with what will be probably ruled an error.
Davey spun once to his right, then to his left. Wasn't sure how to approach that ball. Remember, he wasn't in the lineup last night. And typically a guy who DHs for Harvey Shapiro is out there defensively because he wants Brian Serven to get in the lineup. Drops the ball. That is ruled an error on the scoreboard. So, but man, 3 straight batters for the Kettleers. Taylor, Glines, and Holder, all hard-hit balls to right field. And that time, Davey had a chance to make a play. Doesn't come up and make it.
First pitch, swinging John Jennings, hits it to third. Great play by Alamon, throws across in time. Talk about stopping the bleeding. Blake Alamon just saved a run. Dives to his right on the third base bag. Jennings first pitch swinging. He sent that ball down the line, and Blake Alamon, a great play. Anybody else but Jennings, the catcher, running, probably safe.
Well, the ball wasn't hit all that hard, which gave Alamon a chance to go out and get it. And that's huge. Would have made it a 1-run game.
First pitch to Brendan Hendricks, a curveball. Misses low and away for ball 1. How do you get it to Joey Strain if you're Bourne? A variety of pitchers. Your bullpen's going to have to hold you until the 9th.
Just a side note, Dylan Nelson, a reliever who wears number 2, was jolting down the right field line, so he's going to get loose, I think, for Bourne.
1-0, curveball, misses low and away. 2-0 to Hendricks.
Lucas Laster is also pitching his 5th game of the year against Cotuit. This season for Laster has pitched 8 1/3, entering tonight an ERA of 3.24. So he's seen Cotuit a lot when the Bourne Braves and Kettleers meet.
2-0 from Laster. Hendricks hits it hard to left field. Machine on his horse reaches up. He can't make the play. Holder rounds third. He will score. Hendricks an RBI double. And this somehow, some way, is a 1-run ball game. 7-6 Bourne.
Well, we talked about how the story of this team's season was poor starting pitching, the lack of ability to throw strikes. But one thing we also know about this ball club, they can score runs and hit in clutch situations. We've mentioned all year long how good the Bourne Braves have been when winning after the 6th and 7th innings, 25-1 when leading after the 6th. Well, back on July 8th, when Jimmy Herget pitched, a 9-5 final that went Cotuit's way because Bourne was winning after 6. Well, that only loss that has come on their record was against the Kettleers. Bourne knows Cotuit is one of their toughest opponents, and it's proving to be that way once again.
Kyle Lewis steps in, the right fielder from Mercer. Lewis started last night out in left field. He went 0 for 3, but did have a sacrifice fly, hit the ball hard to center field 3 times. First pitch on the way from Laster, fastball, low outside corner for a strike, 0-1. But here's something to think about. Playoff games at Parks Without Lights have been moved to 4 o'clock because of light issues. Laster's 0-1 on the way to Lewis, swing and a miss. Count to 0-2. This is a 1-run ball game. There is a possibility, a strong possibility, that with this game already at 2 hours and 10 minutes, that we don't complete 9 innings here today. And if Bourne ends up winning, it could be due to dark out. 0-2 to Lewis. Popped up. Foul. Behind the screen. We'll reset and do the 0-2 again.
I wouldn't jump the gun that quickly, but you have to have that in the back of your mind. I'm sure Mike Roberts and Harvey Shapiro are focused what's going on right in front of them. And as we said before the game, 1 pitch, 1 at bat at a time. That's been the approach here in the 5th. One guy after another hitting the ball hard.
0-2 from Laster, misses high and away. So 1-run charge to Laster will more than likely be unearned because of Blake Davies' error. Laster in the stretch looks back at Hendricks at second. 1-2, curveball, misses away. Count even up at 2. On deck, Jeremy Taylor, the left fielder from East Tennessee State.
Orleans now trails 9-0 against YD. That game enters the top of the 9th. 2 RBI double for Connor Hale, and Falmouth also has a 2-0 lead on Hyannis in the top of the first.
2-2 on the way to Lewis. Hits it hard out to right field. Davey settles under it. This time he can make the play. Hendricks tags. He'll make it to third. So the Kettleers have the tying run 90 feet away with 2 outs here in the 5th. 7-6 Braves. The one thing you can also tell, based on this inning, Blake Davey is not a right fielder. He is being put in there for his bat.
No question. The interesting thing is, why wouldn't he DH and put Servin somewhere else in the field? I guess that's the only option you have.
You'd have to put the struggling Sutton Whiting at second because your only other option to play second base is Brett Sullivan.
Right.
First pitch to Taylor. Nub back to the screen. 0-1 on JT. Doubled and scored back in the 4th. And I'm thinking about this from Harvey Shapiro's perspective. Sullivan started in left last night. Machine in right. The problem is with the Bourne roster, they have 3 guys who are catchers and 2 guys who are first basemen. Wheel and Davey. 0-1. Change up, misses high. And to the outside. 1-1 the count on Taylor. And I'm sorry, Brendan, but it looks as if the Brewster Whitecaps run may be coming to a close. 4-0 Harwich, bottom of the 8th at Stony Brook Field in Brewster. Lassner's 1-1 on the way. Taylor, check swing. Appeal down to third. Rick Emerson says the Taylor went around. Kettleer fans not happy, but that's the right call. 1-2, 2 outs. Brendan Hendricks, the tying run, stands at third. Lassner stares in for a sign from delay. Infield back at all spots. 1-2 on the way. Taylor pops it up. Shallow left field. Martin Jr. going back on it, calling it off. Now Laird comes in and he makes the catch. Just short of disaster for the Bourne Braves. But Laird catches the ball and retires the side. Cotuit on home runs from Logan Taylor and Jackson Glines and a double from Brendan Hendricks. Get this to a 1-run ball game. We're through 5 at Lowell Park in Game 2 of the 2014 Western Division Playoffs presented by Rockland Trust. 7-6 Braves. Keep it locked right here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters and we're committed to supporting our community's customers and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com. Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, 2 of America's favorite pastimes. For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
We have ourselves a ball game as we enter the 6th inning. 7, 8, and 9 expected for the Bourne Braves. Jackson McClelland out for his first full inning of relief. Cotuit trails 7-6 after it plates 3 runs in the home half of the 5th. Right-handed hitter Serven from Arizona State, the DH. The big right-hander from Pepperdine, McClelland. Winds and deals. Fastball misses inside, knee high. A ball and no strikes. Serven, Machine, and Delay, the expected hitters. 1-0 from McClelland. Fastball hit on the ground over to short. Tough hop. Holder gets it. Throw to first in time to lock up out number 1 on Brian Serven. An entertaining bottom of the 5th for the Kettleers. Back-to-back home runs by Logan Taylor and Jackson Glines, the 1 and 2 hitters respectively. Kyle Holder reached second base on an error by Blake Davey. Brendan Hendricks drove him in on an RBI double. 1-run lead for Bourne here in Game 2. The Bravos took Game 1 last night 5-3 at Doran Park. V. Machine, left fielder from Virginia Commonwealth. Takes the fastball away. Righty-lefty matchup as McClelland Misses outside. Big right-hander trying to keep Cotuit in the ball game. 1-0 pitch. Fastball popped to the left. It ranges out of play. From the second to fifth innings offensively, Bourne has loaded the bases, and they've gotten at least 6 offensive players to stand at home plate. 1-1. Fastball misses again. It's low, 2-1. 7 batters came to the plate in the second inning. 7 batters came to the plate in the third. 6 in the fourth. 8 in the fifth. This one smashed to center. Glides makes the catch just in front of his belt in shallow left center. 2 down as McClelland is working economically here in the 6th. Scores around the league. Greg just informed us. Top of the 9th, Harwich leads Brewster 4-0. The Mariners, top seed in the East, on the verge of reaching the Eastern Division Finals. Looks like there will be a Game 3 in the Eastern Division semifinals over in Dennis as YD leads 9-0 on Orleans. First pitch fastball high to Jason DeLay, the catcher from Vanderbilt. Falmouth has a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first against Hyannis. 1-0 pitch from McClelland. Swing and a miss. On the changeup, low and in. 1 ball and a strike on DeLay. He's 1 for 3. Singled back in the 5th. Struck out swinging on a change back in the 2nd against Kinley. This pitch smashed on the ground. Over in the backhand goes Holder. Throw across to first in time. A 1-2-3. Top of the 6th for Jackson McClelland. Sends the Cotuit bats back to the dugout, ready for more. We're through 5.5 at Lowell Park in Game 2 of the Western Division semifinals. 7-6 Bravos. Cotuit comes to bat. Here come the Kettles on the Cape League playoffs. Right here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Cape League Playoff Baseball brought to you by Rockland Trust. Stick with us.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters and we're committed to supporting our community's customers and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here on the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at Lowell Park. 7-6 the score. Jordan Ebert to lead things off for the Kettles here in the home half. Lucas Laster, the reliever from Mississippi State, returns to the hill. A lefty-righty matchup. Ebert, the second baseman from Auburn, in the DH spot tonight. First pitch on the way. In the dirt for a ball. 1-0 to Jordan. 1 for 2 in the game. Doubled and scored back in the 3rd. Struck out swinging in the 4th. The first strikeout and only strikeout for the Bourne pitching staff tonight. 1-0, fastball away at 91. 2-0 to Jordan. Cotuit crowd getting into it. A lot of clapping in the Slotnick family grandstand down the left field line. Ebert waves the bat out in front. 2-0 pitch from Laster. Fastball catches the outside corner. 2-1 on the Auburn Tiger. 7-6 the score. It's been a back and forth game in terms of emotions for this Cotuit club. At one point, it trailed 5-0 to the Bravos. 2-1, fastball inside. Almost clips the knees. 3 balls and a strike. Lost last night's game 5-3 at Doran Park in Game 1 of the Western Division semis. Game 2 here today, a 1-run game, as Ebert slaps this one foul behind the press box here at Lowell Park. 3-2. Bourne struck for a run in each of the first 3 innings. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third. Cotuit out of the pair in the home half. Pitch inside, ball 4. Ebert jolts down the first base line. He's on with the leadoff walk. Brian Bamenek fist pumps and pounds the fist of Ebert. He's on for a leadoff base runner. And now it's time for Drew Jackson. So Cotuit added 2 runs in the home half of the third, score 5-2 after 3. Cotuit then added another run in the home half of the fourth to make it 5-3. Bourne struck for 2 in the top of the fifth. Score became 7-3, and then Cotuit struck for 3 last inning. 7-6 is now our score. Jackson squares, then pulls back. Fastball low at 89 from Laster. 1 ball, no strikes. Ebert at first here in the 6th. A 1-run game here in Game 2. Game 3 played tomorrow at Doran Park. First pitch at 6 o'clock. Kettleers warm-up at 5:40 if necessary. Laster sets, wiggles the glove, now throws to first to check on Ebert. Laster making his 6th appearance in 7 total outings against the Kettleers. Check that 8 because this is Game 2. Had 5 appearances in 6 games entering tonight. 1-0. Jackson lays down a bunt down the third baseline. Picked up by the third baseman, Alamond. Has no play, rather gets Jackson at first. Ebert moves up to second with 1 out, tying run in scoring position. Jackson gets the job done on a sacrifice bunt down the third base line. And that brings up Logan Taylor, top of the order for Cotuit. So Lucas Laster does the job, and now you've got Cotuit's hottest hitters coming to the plate. Logan Taylor homered in his last at-bat. He and Glines went back-to-back in the 5th. Laster sets just in front of his chest and now steps off with his left foot. Logan Taylor, his traditional bat waggle behind his maroon helmet. The bat continues to wave. Laster sets, looks back, Ebert at second. First pitch to Logan. Curveball, slice to right field. Davey's on the run. He makes the catch in right center. Out number 2 recorded. Taylor hits it well again the opposite way. This time it's not over the fence. Big second out for Lucas Laster. Ebert has to stay put at second base. So Blake Davey has been busy out and right. Of course, the big error last inning on Kyle Holder's roper to right field. The previous 2 hits from Glines and Taylor in that 5th inning were no doubt about it home runs, in which Davey had to simply stare at. Ebert remains at second with 2 outs for Jackson Glines. Lefty-lefty matchup. Fastball at the knees, misses away. 1-0 to the center fielder from Michigan. Glines was put out twice in the 1st and 3rd. The solo shot in the 5th to go back-to-back with Taylor. Second time this year Cotuit has done that. Norwood and Wiseman of Vanderbilt did it earlier this season. Ebert jukes at second. 1-0. Jackson thought about it, doesn't go around. Out of the crouch goes Delay. Picks the pitch in the dirt. 2-0. Jackson Glines hit .336 in the regular season between his time with Brewster and Cotuit. 8 of 19 with John Altabelli. His squad in trouble. Currently trail 5-0 in the bottom of the 9th. Brewster could be going home momentarily. 2-0 pitch. Fastball upstairs and away. 3 balls, no strikes. Other scores around the league. Falmouth leads 3-0 over Hyannis in the top of the 2nd. And one final at Red Wilson Field. YD evens the series at 1 apiece with Orleans, a 9-0 win for the Red Sox. 3-0 to Glines. Fastball outside. Called a strike, though, by Sadowski. Glines thought he had ball 4. I think the way he's been swinging the bat, he'd rather swing and have a chance to drive in Ebert. 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. 7-6 to score. Cotuit trails by 1 here in Game 2. Down in the series, 1-9, and now time called by Glines. Ebert will head back to second. Now retreats back off the bag. A deep lead at second base. Laster sets, agrees with the sign from Delay. 3-1 pitch. Glines grounds it on the dirt, foul. The count full, 3-2. Ebert walked to start the inning. Drew Jackson sacrificed him to second. Logan Taylor flew to right. Ebert remains at second base. He's the tying run. Lines with the gray and black batting gloves. Sadowski awards time. Now ball back in play. Laster lets the glove sit on his right chest. Now he steps off. Lines taps the bat on his shoe tops. He's ready to go for the payoff pitch. 3-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cotuit trails by a run. Ebert's at second base. He is that tying run. Setting up outside, delay. Laster looks, the 3-2. Line slices it foul into the parking lot. Watch your windshields. The crowd really into it now. At one point, this was a 5-0 game. The Kettleers have somehow, some way, stayed in it. Glines holds the bat close to his left shoulder. Now lifts as Laster sets. 3-2 pitch. Glines looks it. Strike 3 called. A mighty call by Sadowski, an inside fastball. Laster gets the strikeout to conclude the 6th inning. Ebert held at second base, unable to score. We'll go to the 7th. Still a 1-run game here in Game 2. Bourne leads Cotuit 7-6. In the Western Division semifinals, Bourne does lead this series 1-0. Cape League Playoff Baseball plays right here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. It's all brought to you by Rockland Trust.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com. Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together two of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies, such as Zig Tech, Real Flex, and more. Reebok, live with fire.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here on the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Last of the 6th inning, still a 1-run game. Rather, top of the 7th inning here at Lowell Park. The scoreboard still has a number 6 up there. It's the 7th here in Game 2 of Cape League Baseball. Postseason action with Greg Moraz. I'm Brendan Glasheen. Jackson McClellan done in relief. Cotuit goes to their 6th pitcher already. Austin Sexton, the sophomore from Mississippi State, the same school as Lucas Laster.
Sexton comes to the Kettleers from the Lima Locos of the Great Lakes League, same school as Kyle Lewis.
Fastball inside, you mean the same team?
Yes.
The Lima Locos, I don't think is a school, but that'd be a cool school name.
That would be an awesome school name.
Sexton teammates and roommates with Kyle Lewis in the Great Lakes League. 1-0 pitch from Sexton, popped up by Richie Martin Jr. It tails to the right out of play. This season with the Locos, he went 2-1 with a 2.89 ERA in 6 starts and 1 relief appearance. 37 and a third innings logged. He struck out 31 batters, walked just 12, and allowed 34 hits. Drew Jackson on the grass down the third baseline. 1-1. Clips inside. Nearly hits Martin Jr. 2-1. 11 hits, 6 runs for the Kettleers, 10 hits, 7 runs for the Bourne Braves. Bourne hopefully on the run to a fastball misses upstairs, trying to mirror their 2009 campaign when it won its only Cape League title in franchise history. Martin Jr. has been a big reason why. Sexton, the right-hander, deals 3-1. Fastball, mashed to left. Jeremy Taylor backs up a few steps in left center, makes the catch. Good wood by Martin Jr., but he's retired, F7. Taylor makes the catch.
Every ball that he hits, you think that it's going to do something spectacular. He's just that good. And in my opinion, he should have been the Cape League MVP, even though Kevin Newman still hit 380. But Martin played in 43 of the 44 games.
And he played 12 more than Newman. He played 31. First pitch change up, waves away, and swung on and missed by Brett Sullivan, second baseman from Pacific. Tonight, he's 0 for 2. Has walked and was hit by a pitch that played to the run back in the 5th inning. Was also walked that also played to the run. So he has 2 RBIs today on balls not put in play. Fastball misses away. It's 1-1. Jackson remains in on the grass. Hendricks backed up to the right side of the first base bag. 1-1. Change up, dips in. Too far and inside, though. 2 balls and a strike. What really stands out for Sexton are those bright yellow cleats. Man, they're blinding me up here in the booth. The righty winds, 2-1. Fastball dribbled off the back leg. It's the left leg of Sullivan. He's all right. Walks it off 2-2.
When he came in from the bullpen, I thought it was Andrew Schwab because of the fact that Missouri, where Schwab goes to school, has yellow colors the same as that. Those are not Mississippi State colors. So, and Andrew Sexton, Austin Sexton, tripping us up.
Sexton, one of 6 new Kettleers since July 29th. A game in which the Kettleers played the Bourne Braves. 2-2. Slap towards the middle, glinds, jolts in, makes the catch right in front of his chin for out number 2. Kettleer pitching has retired 6 straight Bourne Braves. Back to a ground out by Blake Alamon to conclude the 5th. Still a 1-run game with Greg Miraz. I'm Brendan Glasheen. Cape League Playoff Baseball brought to you by Rockland Trust. As we sit here in the 7th inning, 2 outs, 7-6 Bourne. Laird, the hitter, looks at a curveball outside. Left-handed hitter from LSU ahead, 1-0. Laird tonight, 1 for 3 in the game. Singled back in the first. 1-0 pitch. Another curveball. Cuts across, 1-1. A beautiful night for baseball. It's already past 6:30. This game started at 4 o'clock. 1-1 pitch. Slap to the left side on the line. Dropped by Holder. It's right in front throw. Throw to first in time to record the out. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Kettleers pitching between McClelland and Austin Sexton. We'll go to the home half of the 7th. Stretch time at Lowell Park. Just a 1-run game. Cotuit trying to hold on to their season as they trail in this series 1-0. 7-6 Braves through 6.5. Cape League Playoff Baseball right here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network, brought to you by Rockland Trust.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities ranging from 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams to an outstanding theater program. Explore Curry College online at curry.edu. Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
Stretch time over at Lowell Park. The score is 7-6 here in Game 2 of the Cape League playoffs. Round 1, Western semis between Bourne and Cotuit. The Bravos have the advantage by 1 run. First pitch fastball from Laster misses away. So right now, Greg, we have 2 pitchers on the hill from Mississippi State. Sexton, who just finished the top of the 7th, now Laster on to try and close the 7th. Fastball in the inside corner, called the strike to the left-handed hitter, Holder. Shortstop from San Diego has a 1-1 count. Laster winds, 1-1. Change up inside. 2 balls and a strike.
The fact that Trace Barrera has not grabbed a bat at this point means that he can't catch tonight, and more than likely he's not well enough to hit.
2-1 pitch. Holder rolls over on it, over to first base. On the backhand, gets it wheel. Flip to first. Laster covers in time. Nicely done. Tough play as Wheel was off balance on the flip. Records out number 1 here in the 7th. And a good point to bring that up because the catcher slot now comes up to bat, John Jennings. He's going to bat for his 2nd time tonight. Of course, if you're just joining us, sad news earlier, Ian Rice had to exit tonight's game due to being hit in the head on a backswing by Blake Alamon, third baseman from Texas A&M. Unfortunately, Ian had to leave the game. Jennings did check in, and now a new arm coming in for the Bravos. Most likely Dylan Nelson, right-handed pitcher from Radford. We'll get a look as Harvey Shapiro goes to the pen here with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. The 1-run game here in Game 2. Bourne is just 8 defensive outs away from heading to the 2nd round. 1 out, 7th inning, 7-6 Bravos. Cape League Playoff Baseball, brought to you by Rockland Trust, continues after this.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Co. of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal employees. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities ranging from 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams to an outstanding theater program. Explore Curry College online at curry.edu.
Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies such as ZigTech, RealFlex, and more. Reebok, live with fire. Rockland Trust, a community...
Right-handed arm from Radford, Dylan Nelson into the game for Harvey Shapiro in place of Lucas Laster. The base is still cleared of Kettleers. Kyle Holder was put out 3-1 to record out number 1 in the bottom of the 7th. Swing and a miss by, rather a foul ball off the mask of the catcher, Jason DeLay. The count 0-1 on John Jennings. 7-6 Bourne. Mentioned it before we tossed to break there. The Bravos are 8 outs away from clinching this series, and Greg, you mentioned it there off the air. Good management by Harvey Shapiro to go to a new arm.
Laster was not at his best, but he managed to do what he needed to do.
0-1 to Jennings. Change up misses away. A ball and a strike. 2 1/3 innings pitched by Laster allows 1 hit, 1 run, walked a batter and struck out a batter. 1-1 to Jennings. Catcher from UMass grounds it over to short. Martin Jr. on the run. He bunks it. Jennings reaches first safely. That's a routine play at short. I think you got to rule an error on Martin Jr. They do. Second error tonight for Bourne. And Cotuit has the tying run aboard.
Pitching and defense. It's been the downfall of both teams here today. Nobody's gotten good pitching. And Bourne has got some very bad defense.
These two teams entering the postseason were the 4th and 5th best teams defensively in the league. Hendricks sends a shot to center. Back goes Laird at the fence. It's out of the ballpark. Cotuit takes the lead, 8-7. Holy Toledo. Here come the Kettles. 8-7, Cotuit. 5th home run of this game.
What is so eerily similar, and I have to double check this, I believe that in the start that Jimmy Herget had on July 8th here, that it was Dylan Nelson who gave up the game-winning runs.
The Bourne Braves, after 6 innings this season, were 25-1 when leading. Kyle Lewis takes a fastball in the outer half. It's 0-1 to the outfielder from Mercer. The one loss came against Cotuit, 9-5 here at Lowell Park. 0-1 pitch, curveball tails away. 1-1. 8-7 Kettleers. 5 home runs in this ball game tonight. 3 from Cotuit, 2 from the Bravos. 1-1. This is outside. 2 balls and a strike. This was a 5-0 game earlier tonight. Unbelievable.
It was Nelson. Nelson went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 4 runs.
2-1 pitch to Lewis. Fastball away at 96. The righty from Radford, for the second time this season, has allowed the Kettleers to climb back in a game in which Bourne led after 6. 3-1. Misses inside. Ball 4. Now Cotuit searching for insurance runs. Lewis on with a walk. 1 out, 7th inning. And we just mentioned the smart move by Harvey Shapiro to go to a new pitcher after last year. Well, deja vu. Nelson allows a 2-run shot. And now going down the first base line, John Gorman. He pitched in last night's game through 2 innings. Runner off in Lewis. Throw down from second is delayed. It goes into center field, and now it's backed up by Sullivan, the second baseman. Kyle Lewis swipes second. Really no play for delay. He double clutched the ball. So now an insurance run in scoring position. Moments ago, we said a tying run was in scoring position. Well, times have changed. Game 2 of the Western Division semifinals between Bourne and Cotuit. The Kettleers have an 8-7 advantage. 0-1 to Taylor. Curveball misses away. We talked about this off the air, but not quite as late in the game as it was last season, but Cotuit trailed 1-0 against the Falmouth Commodores in round 1. They came back and went on a walk-off in game 2. A home run by Rhett Wiseman. 1-1 pitch to Taylor. Swing and a miss. Change-up got him out of his shoot tops. 1-2.
An RBI double down the line for Jared Walsh in the 8th. That made it 4-4. And then Garrett Stubbs in the call that you heard in our open for most of the year drove in Hunter Cole to win it 5-4. A walk-off.
1-2 on Taylor. The pitch. Curveball is inside. By his shoot tops once again, it's 2-2. John Gorman, the right-hander from Boston College, is warming in right field. He threw 33 pitches last night in 2 innings of relief. Two. Inside again by the knees of Jeremy Taylor. Count full, 3-2. The Bourne Braves have knocked out the Cotuit Kettleers in postseason action multiple times. Twice in 4 seasons, 2009 and 2012. Well, not quite yet. Grounder over to short. Martin Jr. picks it up. Throw to first is high. On the tag. Nicely done by Wheel. Gets Taylor on the back. Stewart down to third. And Mike Roberts disagrees with the call. He had some words down the third base line. Jeremy Taylor has good speed. Just before his left foot touched the bag, Wheel was able to jump, and while in midair, slaps the tag on his back.
At that point, Richie Martin Jr. has had a very rough defensive inning, to say the least. But Xander Wheel single-handedly makes up for it.
It's a good point. Jennings reaches on an error, and that's one of the runs that came in this inning on a 2-run shot from Brendan Hendricks. Curveball misses away to Ebert. 1-0 the count. A 2-run bomb that gives Cotuit their first lead tonight. 8-7. They trailed in this ball game 5-0 through 2.5 innings. 1-0 pitch. Fastball tails away. 91. 2-0 on Jordan. Second baseman from Auburn is 1 for 2. Doubled and scored in the third. Struck out swinging in the fourth. And walked in the sixth. Nelson stares in. Sets by his chest. 2-0. At the knees. Fastball again. Misses low. 3-0. Kyle Lewis at third base. And Adam Witt loosening in the pen for the Kettleers. Now you're in a mindset for, if you're Cotuit, how to shut this game down and win it. 3-0 at the knees, called a strike. And the formula has been Adam Witt at the end.
Well, Coach Roberts does not want to have to use him more than one inning, but I think based on the way that this game has gone, you got to have Adam Witt finish all 6 outs.
3-1 pitch. Strike called. Ebert thought he had ball 4. Was halfway down the first base line. He loves to run with quick speed whenever he walks, but has to come back now and swing the stick with 3-2 the count. 7th inning, 2 down. Back and forth we go here at Lowell Park. The score 8-7 Cotuit on a 2-run homer by Brendan Hendricks to right center field. 3-2. Outside, ball 4. Lewis holds it third. Ebert down to first. It's first and second with 2 outs for Drew Jackson. And now Harvey Shapiro back out to the mound. Mike Roberts waves over Jordan Ebert to have a discussion with both he and Lewis. A new pitcher coming in for Bourne. It could be Gorman once again. We'll have to confirm as the bullpen far out in right field. Tough to see out here.
If I'm not mistaken, welcome back home. Mason Klotz is back.
Mason Klotz, the former Kettleer from earlier this season, into pitch with 2 outs here in the 7th. The Kettleers have first and third in this half frame, and it leads 8-7 in Game 2 of the Western Division semifinals. Don't go anywhere. We have a close one here at Lowell Park. Cape League Baseball Playoffs, brought to you by Rockland Trust. Continue after the break.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. There are big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like the balsamic grilled chicken or the tender and juicy top sirloin steak. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities ranging from 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams to an outstanding theater program. Explore Curry College online at curry.edu.
The Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the
Oh, this is something, huh? 2 outs, 7th inning. Cotuit leads 8-7 with Greg Barraz. I'm Brendan Glasheen. A 2-run home run by Brendan Hendricks has allowed the Kettleers to take a lead for the first time in this series. Pitch dribbled on the dirt down the third baseline. I should say this game. It did lead 1-0 last night at Doran Park. The final score 5-3. Bourne took the ball game. Jackson behind in the count 0-1. Drew tonight 1 for 2. Flew to right in the third, singled in the fourth, a sacrifice bunt in the sixth. Ebert at first, Kyle Lewis at third. With 2 down, Mason Klotz, the former Kettleer, on. Ebert leaves early at second. Now he's going to throw to second. It goes off the umpire. It goes into center field. Lewis scores. Ebert's going to third. Second base umpire Tony Letizio was in the way of the pickoff throw. And he threw to not the base, but he threw it at Sullivan, but it goes off the thigh of Tony Letizio. Running to score, 9-7.
That is a very weird play because Klotz had Ebert picked off, and now Ebert's coming home.
Now they're really messing with Klotz. This pitch hit on the ground over to first base, taken unassisted by Wheel. He'll tag the bag. Ebert was playfully running down the third base line. Side retired. The damage done. 7 innings in the books. Cotuit adds 3 and takes the lead 9-7. A 2-run homer by Brendan Hendricks inches Cotuit closer to a hopeful Game 3. On to pitch the 8th, Adam Witt. When we come back, more Cape League playoff baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network, brought to you by Rockland Trust. Greg Moraz to take you home.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com. Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
A 2-run homer from Brendan Hendricks and a weird pickoff play give the Kettleers a 9-7 lead heading to the top of the 8th inning. Adam Witt will come on to face the heart of the Bourne Braves order. Witt, who earlier today was named the Cape League Relief Pitcher of the Year, a 5-0 record. This his 20th appearance in the regular season, 19 appearances, 36 innings pitched. An ERA of 1 flat, along with 4 earned runs. First pitch to Xander Will. Fastball, strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Wheel, walked, and reached on a fielder's choice. He also has a pop out and a ground out. Witt in the stretch. Gets the sign, 0-1 on the way. Wheel nubs it to first. Hendricks picks it up. He'll run, tag the bag for out number 1. It may be that Luke Leftwich or Logan James starts tomorrow's game. There's been no determination yet. There's also obviously no determination yet as to whether a game happens tomorrow or not. Bourne has been in it the whole day. If you score 7 runs, you're going to be able to score more. Blake Davey steps in. He's got a home run and an RBI single. Fouls the first pitch into the screen, 0-1. Bourne has not put a base runner on since the 5th. Kettleer relief pitching, mainly Jackson McClelland and Austin Sexton, have retired the last 7. Check 8 Braves that they've faced. 0-1. Fastball misses somewhere low. Mike Sadowski says that was not a strike, so the count even at 1 on Davey. Infield back. Blind shifted slightly towards left center. Sweeping curve. Strike called. 1-2 on Davey. Blake Alamon stands on deck for the Braves. Anyone's ball game still, but Cotuit leads at 9-7 here in the top of the 8th. Witt sets in the stretch. Gets the sign. 1-2 on the way to Davey. Swing and a miss. Blake Davey strikes out for the 3rd time today. Adam Witt has his first strikeout. 2 gone for Blake Alamond. Alamond, the 3rd baseman from Texas A&M. A pair of walks, a double, 2 runs scored, and a round out. Witt, first pitch on the way. Jackson on the grass at 3rd. Fastball misses low and in for ball 1. One on the count. Witt sets, gets the sign from Jennings, delivers. Fastball high and in. 2-0 the count on Alamond. Not a soul has left. 2-0 on the way. Alamond fouls it straight back. Very similar type swing to the one that ended up hitting Ian Rice in the mask, in which, from the left side, he whips the bat behind with his right arm. 2-1. Witt is the 7th pitcher Cotuit has used. 2-1 offering. Changeup. Strike. Low outside corner. Count even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 9-7. Cotuit leads Bourne in a wild and wacky one. Alamond hits it up the middle, a base hit. That will bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Brian Servan. So Alamond has reached base for the 4th time today. And Alamond has reached base for the 6th time in the series. Servan steps in, a single, a walk, a run scored, a strikeout, and a ground out. Hendricks holds on. Alamond at first. V Machine stands on deck. First pitch on the way. Servan hits it right to Drew Jackson at 3rd. Ranges to his left, fires across, in time to retire Servan. The Kettleers are 3 outs away from forcing a decisive Game 3. But first, they try and add some insurance. 9-7 Cotuit as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning here in the 2nd game of the 2014 Western Division Playoffs presented by Rockland Trust. You're locked into Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities ranging from 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams to an outstanding theater program. Explore Curry College online at curry.edu.
Happy 100th birthday to the Chatham Bars Inn, one of the world's most honored resorts. The Chatham Bars Inn offers the Cape's finest dining and oceanfront views. For a time you'll always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn.
Top of the order, due up for the Kettleers against their former teammate Mason Klotz. Logan Taylor will lead it off. Taylor hit a solo home run to lead off the 5th inning. That made it 7-4 Bourne. First pitch, and Klotz hits Logan Taylor right in the back. Taylor stares down Klotz for a minute, but a leadoff hit by pitch puts Taylor at first, and Jackson Glines steps to the plate. Taylor and Glines went back-to-back in the 5th. Klotz this season with the Kettleers, a very deceiving stat line. First pitch swinging, Glines chops it to the right side. Second baseman Sullivan ranges. He has to hurry in time to retire Glines. Moves Taylor up to second base. 1 out for Kyle Holder. Klotz with Cotuit. He had a game at YD in which he threw 3 wild pitches in 3 consecutive pitches. Klotz pitched 8 games for Cotuit, 14 1/3 innings pitched, a 3.14 ERA. He gave up 11 runs. Holder, first pitch swinging through the right side, a base hit. Being held up at third, Logan Taylor. Runners at the corners with 1 away. The Kettleers trying to add more. But Klotz gave up 5 earned runs, 11 total runs in 14 1/3 innings pitched. Coming into the season, many of us on the Kettleers media team thought that Klotz was going to be the main guy to close out ball games. He gave up a 2-out, 2 RBI triple in the 2nd game of the year to Hyannis's Ben DeLuzio, and he just really never seemed in rhythm from the get-go. Asked for presumably his release, or his coaches figured it would be good for him to go elsewhere. He's now on with Bourne. Klotz throws to third. Back safely, Logan Taylor. That's actually the first time I've ever seen a right-handed pitcher throw over to third like he's throwing over to first. Not the fake to third, throw to first move. First pitch on the way to Jennings. Suicide squeeze, but it goes foul off to the right of home plate. 0-1 on Jennings. Jennings reached on an error and scored in the 7th. What a deflating game for the Bourne Braves.
I mean, you're in the driver's seat with a 5-0 lead through 2.5 innings. Then you're up 7-3 at one point in this ball game in the 5th. And you just give this team extra life. 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th, 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th.
Klotz throws to first. Back safely, Kyle Holder.
And you have to think now, when you look at the total of this season, 7+ games, including tonight, it's a mental game now. I mean, 2 games this year you've led after 6, and Cotuit is probably going to beat you twice.
Pitch out. Delay doesn't throw it. Count even at 1-1. For Bourne, should tomorrow happen, the day tomorrow will happen, but talking about whether a game tomorrow happens, more than likely they'll throw Andrew Sopko, who hasn't pitched since this past Friday. We'll double check that for you. Jennings shows bunt again. Klotz's fastball misses low and away. 2-1 the count. Klotz stares in the stretch first base side. Jennings shows bunt again, pushes it foul. Count even up at 2-2. It's been a wild one, to say the least. Kettleers trying to add more. 2-2, 1 out. 9-7 Cotuit here in the bottom of the 8th inning. This game is past the 3-hour mark. 2-2, swing and a miss. There's a reason why Mason Klotz is here in the Cape League, and that changeup is a reason why. Jennings strikes out. 2 gone for Brendan Hendricks. And Hendricks gets a loud ovation. We will try and have him on after the game in our Star Kettleer segment.
Just think about this kid's journey coming through.
Fastball, high and away for ball 1.
Had a walk-off single in the second game of a doubleheader against Brewster. He's come up big in clutch situations, swung at the first pitch as he had all year, and drives it out of the park. A temporary player entering the season for the University of San Francisco.
1-0, fastball misses away, 2-0 the count. He's the temporary player that has made the biggest impact, without a question. 2-0, fastball misses low and in. 3-0 on Hendricks.
But time and time again, Brendan Hendricks was sidelined because of a new player that came in. Jamison Fisher leaves. He's inserted back in the starting lineup. He takes advantage of every opportunity.
3-0 on the way. Fastball misses low and in. Ball 4. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And now the Kettleers can really break it open. Kyle Lewis steps up to the plate. Andrew Sopko last pitched against the Kettleers here on July 29th. Sam Kmetch pitched against Bourne on Monday. Or against Wareham. He plays for Bourne. First pitch. Curveball. Strike on the inside corner. 0-1 the count on Lewis.
And this kid would get a huge warm welcome if he could drive one here.
Breaking ball. Outside corner. Strike 2 call. The Kettleers have used 7 pitchers. Bourne has used 4. Klotz. 0-2. Gets away from delay. Taylor scores. 10-7 Kettleers. And something that plagued Mason Klotz while he was with Cotuit, the wild pitch, has come back to bite him against his former team.
And just knowing Mike Roberts' personality, I'm sure he has a sneaky grin down the third base line, considering he left the Kettleers, went to Bourne, and makes that mistake we've seen before.
1-2, pitch in the dirt, great block by Jason DeLay. And Mason Klotz's stats with Bourne alone, 2 2/3 innings pitched, 10 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. Lewis swings and misses, and a 2-2 curve. Klotz strikes out 2, but a wild pitch brings in a key insurance run. Adam Witt can retire 3 more batters and force a Game 3. We'll go to the top of the 9th inning, 10-7. Kettles lead it here in Game 2 of the 2014 Western Division semifinals, presented by Rockland Trust.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com. The Chatham Bars Inn celebrates its 100th anniversary this year and is New England's premier oceanfront resort, a proud member of the leading hotels of the world. For a time you'll always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Co. of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal employees. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
Top 9. Kettleers lead it 10-7. First pitch to V Machine on the way. Strike right down Broadway. 0-1. Adam Witt trying to close it out here for the Kettleers. Austin Sexton would be the winning pitcher should this score hold. 0-1. Breaking ball high and in. Count even on V Machine. Machine, a pair of singles, an RBI. A run scored. He's 2 for 4. Jackson in on the grass at third. 1-1. Fastball sweeps inside. 2-1 the count. 3 hours and 10 minutes so far in this ball game. 7 pitchers used by the Kettleers. 4 by Bourne. 2-1. Machine nubs it down the left field line. Taylor ranges towards the line. Settles under it. Makes the catch. 1 away.
I mean, you put Adam Witt in any situation, he seems to thrive. To start the season, Mike Roberts admitted he did not use him properly. Threw him in the 6th, 7th innings of middle relief and threw him 3 or 4 innings a game. Now, he is easily this team's closer for the 8th and 9th innings.
First pitch to Jason DeLay. Fastball, high outside corner. Called a strike. 0-1.
Considering the fact that Jeff Kinley is now in the starting rotation, you don't have 2 guys to close games. Witt is your man.
0-1 offering. DeLay chops it in front of the pitcher's mound. Witt ranges to his right. Whips it to first in a sidearm fashion. DeLay retired. 2 outs for Richie Martin Jr. Martin has had a rough day defensively, but at the plate he's done his job. A home run to lead off the ball game. A single back in the 5th. He scored. He also has drawn an intentional walk. Righty-righty matchup. Witt sets. First pitch on the way to Martin. Fastball. Misses high and in. 1-0 the count. The one benefit playing a game tomorrow, and I don't know if it's necessarily a benefit or not, is that Bourne will have Gorman and Joey Strain available. 1-0. Martin chops it towards the Kettleer dugout. 1-1 the count. No announced starting pitchers for either squad thus far. But if we find out who they are, we will relay them to you over the air. 1-1 on the way. Fastball, outside corner. Strike 2. Martin Jr. not happy with home plate umpire Mike Sadowski. The fans on their feet in what has been one of the craziest Cape League games all year. Witt sets. Time called. And Martin Jr. steps out. 11 combined pitchers. 24 combined hits. 17 combined runs. And it all comes down to Adam Witt versus Richie Martin Jr. 1-2. 2 outs. A 3-run lead for Cotuit. Pitch on the way. Martin hits it down the right field line. Hendricks goes back on it. He makes the catch on the run. And how appropriate that the man who gave the Kettleers the lead makes the play that gives the Kettleers a decisive Game 3 tomorrow at Doran Park in Bourne. 10-7, Kettles win it.
You're right. A proper way to end this game. Hendricks makes a tough catch down the right field line, and man, oh man, you trailed in this ball game 5-0 and 7-3. You get 3 runs in the 5th, 3 in the 7th. Clutch home runs from Logan Taylor and Jackson Glines, and also a big home run from Brendan Hendricks to give Cotuit the win. So definitely a big day. This was a type of game, though, that showed what this entire team is made of. Its pitching staff will struggle, but the offense will battle. And I'll tell you, These Bourne Braves were feeling really good midway through this game. Well, I think momentum has shifted Cotuit's way.
Bourne scored 2 runs in the 5th inning to make it 7-4. They did not score in the final 4 innings. Meanwhile, Cotuit scored 3 runs in the 5th, 3 runs in the 7th, added 1 more in the 8th to make it a 10-7 final. Kettleers Insider Postgame Show starts right now.
It's time for the Kettleers Insider Postgame Show on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. With a wrap on tonight's game, here's Greg Moraz and Brendan Glasheen.
An unbelievable game. One for the ages. Maybe not as dramatic as last year's 5-4 win over Falmouth, in which Garrett Stubbs hit a walk-off single to plate Hunter Cole in the bottom of the 9th inning to force Game 3. But certainly a flair for the dramatic. The Kettleers were down 1-0 in the series against Bourne in the first round 2 years ago. Came back and won Game 2 to force a decisive Game 3. Bourne eventually did win that series, though. Welcome to the Kettleers Insider Postgame Show. I'm Greg Moraz, and this was an incredible game. It did not start off well for the Kettles. Richie Martin Jr., second pitch of the ball game off of Jeff Kinley, hit a solo shot to left into the trees, made it 1-0 Bourne. Braves then got 1 more in the second. That one was on a bases-loaded walk from Brett Sullivan, made it 2-0 Bourne. Then the wheels essentially came off in the third. Blake Davey hit a home run down the right field line. Blake Allemond walked, reached second on an error. Nick Eicholtz came in after the Davey home run. He walked Allemond and Serven, then gave up a single to V Machine, scored Allemond, and then Eicholtz did not back up a play. And Machine advanced to third. Serven scored. That made it 5-0 Bourne at the time. But Cotuit came back. The delay, because of that inning, took Jimmy Herget out of a rhythm. Kettles got 2 in the third. That made it 5-2. Got 1 more in the fourth. That made it 5-3. But then the wheels fell off again for Cotuit pitching, and Grayson Jones, who was in the game at the time, Travis Duke, I should say, V Machine a single, Jason DeLay a single, Richie Martin Jr. a single. That loaded the bases. Brett Sullivan drove in another run on a hit by pitch. That made it 7-4 eventually. But then Cotuit came back. Scored 3 runs in the 5th. That made it 7-6. Back-to-back home runs by Logan Taylor and Jackson Glines. The Kettleers bullpen clamped down. Jackson McClelland, Austin Sexton, and Adam Witt were perfect. But then Brendan Hendricks, after John Jennings reaches on an error, blasts a home run to dead center field. A flair for the dramatic, to say the least. And Brendan Hendricks, he had a big home run that gave the Kettleers the lead over Wareham in a game back in mid-July. And he comes up big here. And Brendan Hendricks joins us here for our Star Kettleers segment of the ball game. And it seems every time we have him on, he has a flair for the heroic. And first of all, Brendan, we got to ask you, what did Dylan Nelson throw you on that pitch? Because you hit it really hard.
Yeah, it was a first pitch fastball. I was just trying to hit something in the gap, you know. Luckily, I put it up in the air, and it managed to get out of the ballpark.
Now, this team was down 5-0 at one point. You guys came back after being down 7-4. You got within a run, and then you come up, you hit that 2-run homer, you score 2 more runs afterward. So you think about it, it went from a 5-0 game to a 10-7 game. What about this team makes you be able to go down 5-0 and still have the belief that you can win?
You know, I don't think anybody panicked out there. We knew we were in it the whole time, and then we got some big hits, you know. LT had a big home run to right field, and then Glines followed up with another big home run, and we just started rolling. Nobody lost faith, and luckily we ended up on top.
You seem like the little engine that could on this ball club. You know, you had a big hit earlier this year. We mentioned about Brewster and the walk-off single, but you're a temporary guy. You've gotten opportunities, and then once Jameson Fisher left, you were inserted into the starting lineup every day. It seems like you've been able to take advantage of every at-bat possible. How do you approach that, knowingly at the times you were a guy that didn't play every day?
You know, you just take it day by day. If you're in the lineup, do what you can to help the club, and if you're not in the lineup, do what you can to get in the lineup. And that's the way I approach it. When I get in there, you know, just trying to help the team and do what I can to help the team win. And if we keep playing like this, I don't think anybody's going to stop us.
The offense has been clicking, 10-plus hits in each of the last 2 ball games, 13 combined runs in the series for the Kettleers. How do you translate tonight's success to tomorrow night's game, a quick turnaround, no idea who's going to pitch for either team thus far? How do you guys be able to channel this into a better performance tomorrow?
You know, I think that's the fun of it. It's summer baseball and anything goes, you know. Playoff baseball, we're going to go out there, and whatever the situation is, whoever's throwing, whoever's in the lineup, we're just going to battle, do what we can. And like I said, if we keep playing like this, then good things are going to happen.
Well, Brendan, thank you so much for joining us again. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the big hit. And we're looking forward to what should be a great game tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys.
That was Brendan Hendricks, our star Kettleer of the game. And it's always fun to have him up in the booth because whenever we seem to have him up, he has done something for the dramatic. As he gives us the thumbs up, Brendan Glasheen rejoins me up here in the broadcast booth. And you and I were talking when Bourne went up 5-0 in the third. We were already starting to figure out what we were going to do tomorrow. You and I were trying to think of, oh, what were you going to do after work? And I was trying to figure out what time I was going to start my drive back to Chicago, Illinois. Well, we got to put those plans on hold because there's more baseball to be played. And I mean, Brendan, he is about as cool of a customer as it comes. And to say that when they were down 5-0 that nobody really panicked out there, you look at the look on his face and the demeanor in which he talks, and I can believe that nobody really panicked out there.
No kidding. I mean, you got to figure Brendan Hendricks, Logan Taylor, Jackson Glines, these are 3 guys they've had for the most part the entire season. Of course, Glines did start the season with Brewster, but Logan Taylor and Brendan Hendricks have been dominant for your offense since day one. They saw Jimmy Herget twice this season when he started, and they knew, probably mentioned something to the new guys, we can hit this kid. We can come up and face this guy. Same thing with Dylan Nelson. You saw this guy before in relief of Herget, and he allowed 4 earned runs in an appearance at Lowell Park to get Bourne's first loss when leading after 6 innings. They did it again tonight. So Brendan Hendricks nailed it. You don't know in summer baseball. In the playoffs, you don't know what's going to happen the next day. All you can simply do is take advantage of your spot in the lineup and play every pitch and play every out like it's your last. Tomorrow, we don't know who's starting for the Kettleers. It could be Luke Leftwich. It could be Logan James. We're not sure. But Cotuit is limited with arms. But based on the way Adam Witt pitched tonight, and also how you mentioned for Bourne, did not use John Gorman and did not use Joey Strain, Game 3 should be a thriller tomorrow.
I also want to point out that Nick Eichholz could be a possibility because he did not throw many pitches. He could still pitch tomorrow. Probably won't start, but the only guys that you can really rule out for tomorrow are the guys who have pitched more than 1 inning apart in this series. Will Stillman still has not pitched yet, the righty from Wofford. So it could be a Wofford 2-step tomorrow, Luke Leftwich and Will Stillman. Either way, difficult to see. If Leftwich throws tomorrow or James throws tomorrow, I don't think the other one throws unless it's a desperate situation because there are no more off days. There's been too much rain to be able to schedule any more off days. So Game 3, tomorrow night at Doran Park. And man alive, should this be the final game at Lowell Park this season, which if a Kettleers loss happens tomorrow, it very well could be, it was certainly a memorable one.
No kidding. I mean, again, we mentioned it during the broadcast. This game really shows what this club has done all year. I mean, of course, they came out on top of only 18 games and lost 25. But this club, multiple times here at Lowell Park, would trail in ball games because of poor starting pitching, poor strike throwing ability, but then the offense would come through and make big plays when they had to. They didn't do it last night in a close 5-3 game. Brian Scott before the game said, hey, we were happy with the effort last night. We lost a tough game to a good bullpen. It's funny you mentioned this. Bourne was scoreless tonight in the 6th, 7th, and 8th and 9th innings last night. Well, look what Bourne did to Cotuit last night. 4 shutout innings from their pen in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. So far, it's been what bullpen can shut the door at the end. Cotuit was able to take advantage of the 7th. Hendricks, the big home run.
10-7, the final here at Lowell Park. And now it's time to go around for our Coca-Cola of Cape Cod scoreboard update. One series definitely moving on to a Game 3. That will be YD and Orleans. The Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox put the whooping stick on the Orleans Firebirds today, 9-0 at Red Wilson Field.
Yeah, the final 9-0 at Red Wilson Field in South Yarmouth. There will be a Game 3 at Eldridge Park tomorrow. Another final, the Brewster Whitecaps and John Altabelli's tenure in Brewster has come to an end. The Harwich Mariners defeat Brewster 5-0 at Stony Brook Field. The first place team in the Eastern Division, Harwich, will advance to the Eastern Division Finals. One other game in progress, top of the 6th in Hyannis. The Falmouth Commodores currently have a 4-0 lead on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Falmouth leads the series 1-0. It looks like the Commodores are in the driver's seat to take that series tonight. That would mean a day off for them tomorrow. If indeed they win, the Kettleers, of course, would have to play Bourne. So Falmouth is going to be well rested. And you have to consider, unless Hyannis comes back, Matt Hall would likely get the start in Game 1 against either Bourne or Cotuit. So no matter what, if the Kettleers or Braves find a way to win tomorrow's game, Matt Hall is going in Game 1 most likely if Falmouth wins this game tonight.
Because I forget from that moment that Falmouth played their first playoff game on Wednesday. So he will get a full 4 Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He'll
Sunday.
get 3 days of rest.
Yeah.
So Hall more than likely wouldn't go on 3 days of rest, but he definitely would be available to pitch a Game 2. But you know what? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's enjoy what has been one of the more dramatic games this entire season. 10-7, Cotuit defeats the Bourne Braves. For my broadcast partner, Brendan Glasheen, for our Director of Print Operations, Matt Schneidman, and for our Director of Video Operations, Axel Bawada, I'm Greg Mraz. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Friends, there's more baseball tomorrow. Join us on the air, 5:40, Kettleers Warm-Up, live from Doran Park in Bourne, as Cotuit looks to advance to the Western Division Finals for the 2nd straight year. From my broadcast partner, Brendan Glasheen, I'm Greg Mraz. Kettleers, a flair for the dramatic. They win 10-7. Good night from Lowell Park. We'll see you tomorrow night on the shores of the Cape Cod Canal in Bourne.
Thanks for listening to the Kettleers Insider Postgame Show on the Cape Cod